I should have probably went live on my other platform. Be here. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. I just wanted to do a quick show. All right. I should have went live on my other platform because instead of just YouTube, because YouTube doesn't put out the notifications. You'll be live for like a whole half an hour before YouTube put out any notification. So I'm gonna wait till you guys get in the building. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. YouTube stop having the little thing light up when you talk, so I won't know. You did. So put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. All right. Let this run for a minute. Oh, ooh-wee. I'm gonna wait till like 5 minutes pass, and then we'll get started. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. We'll talk about something. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. Simple. All right, it's simple. Put a 1. Okay, what's going on, Raven? Good to see you, bro. Raven, what's going on? Oh man, Raven, what's going on at AEW, man? I haven't been seeing what's up with your girl Toni Storm, aka Goldust 2025. What's up with Toni, man? She didn't lose her title yet. I heard I see what you call it, Athena drop kicking the shit out of her. And some other black girl rising. I forgot her name. But man, wrestling getting weird. You said, I don't know. I'm not watching AEW. Okay, what's going on, Sin? Good to see you, love. If you guys could do me a huge favor and post in Discords and let everybody know that I'm live. Because, I'm just going live on YouTube. We're not live on Rumble today. Just doing YouTube exclusively today. You know, shout outs to everybody here. It's Player Talk Radio. We are in the building. Yes, yes. Please double tap this screen. Which Sierra are you talking about? Because I heard recently, y'all, that Sierra changed Future's son, baby Future, his last name, over to Russell Wilson's last name. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about on today's show. You dig? Colby? I don't know who the hell that is, bro. There's a lot of Sierras, Raven. There's a lot of them. I saw Sierra on Breakfast Club defending Russell Wilson. I give her kudos for that, you know. But I think she's on an album press run. So it is what it is, you know. I'm not gonna lie, man. Future been losing a lot of aura You know what I'm saying? You know, since he chopped his dreads off, he need to get them shits sewed back in before everybody notices. That nigga went from Future to Wanda Sykes. I don't think Cassie can make a comeback. You know? Cassie kind of nuked her career. I don't think she can make a comeback. She don't really have too much material out there for people to be like, hey, you know, we want to hear a redemption story kind of album. You know what I'm saying? You know, she got a lot of music out there. I know a lot of music from Cassie, but, you know, Cassie need to get rid of that 30M. She need to be focused on hiding that 30 mil. You know what I'm saying? She need to be focused on hiding that. Cause people are gonna come after it. I just double tap the screen, y'all. We got 8 people in here and 2 likes. Come on now. Just boop boop, double tap the screen. Not hard. Just tap tap. There we go. But no, I just read a article on how they're gonna restart the whole Diddy case. You know, so the Diddy case damn near about to get restarted, y'all. Diddy case about to get restarted. So that shit about to be interesting as hell. What's going on, Unfriendly Stoic? Good to see you, bro. Man, I gotta reach out to you. Shout outs to Unfriendly Stoic in the building. Y'all please hit the like button on the way in. Please support the show. I got you guys. We're gonna chop it up. Just a little chop up. Before we get into the you know, the main topic. Gonna wait until a couple people get in. You know. Yeah. I definitely gotta reach out to you, yeah. Bro, that J Rello shit is crazy. And it's just a lot of shit going on. You know. What type of people you hate, Kobe? But no, you know, Cassie, she can't make a comeback. She don't really have the material out there for people to be like, hey, you know. And this generation of women, you know what I'm saying? This generation of women, they can't resonate with Cassie. Hell, y'all are seeing this generation of women talking crazy about Kelly Price. You know, and that shit is old news. Yeah, they want to be prostitutes. And I'm gonna go deeper into that. And this is why modern man is evolving right now. You know, bread or buns. You know, shout outs to the young player over on TikTok. You know, I talked about him on the last couple of shows and gave y'all the game. You know, bread or buns. Y'all double tap the screen. Just tap. Just the screen. Just tap twice. Just boom boom, boom boom. Just tap your screen twice. Just quickly. Just pat. That easy. All right. But yeah, you know, but a lot of these hoes that want to be hoes, they haven't been properly laced, so they don't know what the hell they talking about. They just spraying and praying, and they quote unquote prices are fluctuating, and they, you know, lousy opportunists, like I've been saying, you know. And it's sad too, because a lot of women, they're opportunistic, right? But not knowing what they're doing. And the thing is that it's like they're business minded, you know? They're ready to do business, little do they know. But a lot of them are just dumb as hell or don't know what the hell they doing. Y'all double tap the screen on the way in. Just tap, tap, double tap your screen. And it's similar to like I wouldn't, I wouldn't full-fledged say it's like, drug dealers, but it's the same thing with drug dealers. Some people just like the fucked up shit that they do instead of really trying to legitimize themselves. How you gonna get mad at somebody? That's the thing. That's a double part of the sword. It's like you mad at somebody at a lifestyle that you're actively trying to live, because if somebody came along, which multiple people have came along and told you how to legitimize what you're doing, and you don't want to do it, then you want the lifestyle that you live in. You want the lifestyle that you live in. Well, the hoes are supposed to run to the dating world, Raven. You know what I'm saying? That's really the exit plan. It's like whenever she ready to jump out of the game or she want to play around, she just square up or pretend as if she's squared up. And that's really what it is. But the thing is that, see, it fucks it up for the real hoes, because now you got to be a high-level hoe to really do that. You got to really be bona fide to really do that. And that takes unique experiences. That takes a level of confidence within yourself. And you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot within you as a woman to go ahead and do that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not every woman can do that. So women letting their little secret out has ruined it for them. This is why women that are smart don't really give away their secrets, because they know and don't trust women. See, women that understand women don't trust women because they know the next women are going to try to undercut them. Women, to a certain degree, really have no loyalty to anything. They don't have to practice loyalty. Emotions don't practice loyalty. You understand what I'm saying? It's not guaranteed you're going to be sad. It's not guaranteed you're going to be happy. It's not guaranteed you're going to feel the same way in the next hour, much less minute. Do you understand how that works? So think about it. If you have somebody running off of emotion, Man, I'm dropping some game. Y'all hit the like button. Come on in. Double tap the screen. Everything I'm throwing today gonna catch fire. Double tap the screen. Just tap, tap. All right. So a lot of these women don't know what they doing. They don't know what the hell going on. And then they trying to mix it in with dating and stuff like that. The only time a woman that's in that lifestyle is really going out on dates is if she's going out to go grab some, grab some bread. What's going on, And1 Play 5? Good to see you, bro. Welcome to the show, my bro. As always. And that's the problem. Y'all are getting told that women are these sweet and nice creatures, and and you should treat them the best that you can and stuff like that. But yeah, you're supposed to be handling women that are supposed to be in the game. OnlyFans account. Finessing niggas. And the dudes ain't no better neither. They want hoes. I'm not telling guys, for the most part, in no damn manosphere, how to get with decent and beautiful women, you know? And if I am, which I have been, it falls on deaf ears, and they're not trying to hear it. Like right now, everybody going in on Young Thug, talking crazy about Glorilla. And you want to know why that's a topic in the manosphere? Because the majority of the dudes, no matter how much they lied to you, in the manosphere, no matter how much raunchy songs and crazy shit she talk about, would date Glorilla. They'll come in here and lie to you. Oh man, I wouldn't date Glorilla. I wouldn't. Man, shut up. These niggas will date Glorilla in a heartbeat. They will date Ice Spice in a heartbeat. They would date Lotto in a heartbeat. They would date Brittany Renner. All the stuff y'all know about Brittany Renner. They would take Brittany Renner in a heartbeat. They will still date Brittany Renner. I don't give a damn how much they talk about PJ Washington and stuff like that. They would still date a Brittany Renner. You did? They would still date a Brittany Renner. Broken Berlin said, you really think majority of these dudes would date them or just smash? They would actually date them. They would actually date them. Some of these women, first of all, a lot of guys that have problems getting women, you know what I'm saying, will still stick around after a lot of these women hit. You know? And let's just face it, if you about your paper to a certain degree, you would date a Brittany Renner. You would date a Glorilla. What's going on? What's going on, Bronze? Shout outs to Bronze, flat power god in the building. You know? Niggas be lying. Niggas be acting like they handing out elite dick. You know? Niggas be acting like they handing out elite dick. First of all, half of them are lucky that those women are even looking their way, to tell you the truth. You know? Believe it or not. I'm not putting these niggas on a pedestal that they don't even put themselves on and shit like that. I seen y'all niggas baby mamas. A Glorilla or a Keisha or whatever you want to call her is an upgrade to a lot of these niggas. Sitting up here feeding y'all this fake ass information. No, y'all gonna get the real shit. A Brittany Renner is an upgrade to a lot of these niggas. You know, the crazy part is that relationships save a lot of people, including niggas. But it saves niggas in a different fucking way. Because a lot of y'all niggas don't know what y'all talking about when y'all single. Just as much as a lot of women don't know what they doing with their options in the dating game when they are quote unquote single. You know what I'm saying? That's the irony of it. I don't know why niggas be on some elite dick type shit like, oh man, dating a Glorilla can't bring no fucking light to my life. Shit. Yes it can. You know? What's going on, party? Good to see you, player. You said they baby mama don't look like Shat. Exactly. I seen a lot of they baby mamas. Hey, look, and party, this is post. This is post manosphere, you know. What's going on, Miss V? In the place to be. Good to see you, love. I'm glad to see you. You said middle of nowhere talking nonsense. Yeah. Let's just keep it 100. You know, some of y'all can use a Glorilla if you know what you're doing. Little Brittany Renner, if you know what you're doing. The key point, though, is that you know what you're doing. You know? Sometimes when you get these stupid answers and these stupid little bullshit stories from some of the dudes, it's just they don't know what they doing. I respect the dude, right? I will respect the dude if a dude says, I'm not even gonna lie, I will take a Glorilla or whatever and whatnot, but I probably wouldn't know what I'm doing with a chick like that. You know? And that's valid. That's valid for you to say, yo, I will accept something and we'll see when we get there. But, you know, I'm kind of not. I really don't know what I'm in for. You know? You can tell the mindset of a dude that's been around actual baddies. Because honestly, when you get to that point and you actually really be pulling those caliber of women and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of gonna be what's happening. You know, you'll get with a baddie. Let's say you somewhere in Miami or something like that, right? You'll get with a little baddie and stuff like that. And then in to a certain degree, when little things start kicking in and you know you should leave, a lot of guys don't leave because guess what? They like, hey man, I'll probably never get a baddie like this again. Let me kind of ride this Nimbus cloud until it disappears type shit. You know, certain things that if you, you know, and it's not even necessarily about having standards, because standards and decision making are two different things. That's what a lot of people don't tell you guys. It's like, yeah, you can have standards all the fuck you want, but you know, do you you know, that doesn't mean those standards that you want influence your decisions. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can have standards all you want, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get what you want and it's going to fall into the criteria of your standards. And then you're not going to make the decisions to keep, you know, that particular criteria coming in. Most people never been around their standard. Most people, you know, don't necessarily date their standard. You know what I'm saying? And most people, for the most part, aren't really hooking up, you know, with their standards. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is that most people have standards. If they have standards, that's number one, that aren't even fine-tuned. You know, that aren't even fine-tuned. You know? But let me catch up on these comments real quick, you know? He apologized to her. Yeah, he apologized to Glorilla because you seen what she glowed into now. Glorilla glowed up. She is nothing like when she first started. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, people getting mad at Young Thug, but if you even Glorilla will probably tell you how she was back in the day. It's like oof. You know? And I gotta give it to Cardi B though, because Cardi B really started that trend. Cardi B said, I gotta bag and fix my teeth. And I said, you know what? That's the smartest thing I've ever seen a ratchet coming into the game getting some money do. Get a bag and fix their teeth. That's the first thing Glorilla did when she got her bag. She came in and she fixed her teeth. You know, but I really, you know, put that into particulars when I heard Cardi B say it, because I said, you know, that's legit. You know, get a bag and fix your teeth. You know, that's some real shit. You said, low-key, a lot of these dudes are too fucking old for the conversation and not in a good way. Get out of there, party. Get out of there, bro. You know, like I know. You said, that's easy work. I'm from New York City. Down south chicks are game goofy. A lot of them are, to tell you the truth. And it's not even that too, and one. The thing is that, you know, we on the East Coast, so, you know, we you know, I mean, obviously you got slick, fast talking people in you know, in the South, obviously, and they do very well. But on the East Coast, like in the major cities, DC, Philly, you know, Boston, you know, New York, Baltimore, We move quick. We move quick. We move very fast. That fast talking shit, yeah, that's cool and all, but we move quick. You know? We on a different type of timing. We on a different type of regimen. You know what I'm saying? See, the fast talking shit work in the South because they a little bit more laid back to a certain degree. Same thing with California shit. They a little bit more laid back, you know, out there in the West. But on the East Coast, like that east upper corner of the United States, and you can say Chicago, you throw in Chicago too, we move quick. We on a different type of time. You know? You know? Much love to the South, but shit. And you know what I'm talking about when I say that too, you know? He said Brittany Renner is kryptonite, but nah, she showed out too much. A lot of these dudes want baby mamas like Brittany Renner because, first of all, Brittany Renner is going to bring you an endless supply of residual bitches. And second of all, niggas want some women goosing over them. That's the thing. It's the better to love and lost than never loved before. Niggas would rather a crazy bitch goosing over them and bringing them a little bit of drama instead of no bitch at all. That's how niggas are until they actually have to live it. You know? And listen, you just gonna get women when word gets out that Brittany Renner is your baby mama. You know? You said that ain't even exclusive to baddies though. That exists with identify who likes you first in the first fucking place. Well, the thing is now, it's really not an exclusive thing to baddies. You know? But I will say this: you have to have experienced it coming from actual baddies. So when you feel it coming from average women, you can really adjust how you delegate with it, you know? That's why I'm glad we grew up in the time that we grew up in. Because now, you know, dudes are just lost in the sauce, you know? Most of these niggas can't even let go. Most of these niggas can't even go out for one night in New York City. They're not in the game at all. Laugh out loud. That's true. You said Brittany is done. I think she just finished off her thought baby mama. No, she not done. She just sawed off the dudes at the top that would have sawed her out. You know? So she just gonna keep getting into the same situation. She on a hamster wheel. You know? It's not even about dating, Raven. It's not even if somebody's trying to date. Most people don't know how to date. People are trying to engage, you know? Yeah, I saw that. I talked about that and one play 5. That's why y'all saw in the last show, I was joking about Kelly Price when they were making fun of her outfit and shit like that. I'm like, bro, y'all niggas want bitches to come out on stage in wrestling gear. It was a joke. It was really alluding to that type of stuff. Wrestling kind of is making a hip-hop comeback. What's going on, Red Door Woman? Good to see you, love. Nah, black women are becoming a widow class now. Same thing with white women. They're becoming a widow class. These birth numbers, baby. This shit is going down. Like the Twin Towers, man. You said I'm from Fort Myers too, Florida. Yeah, you already know. You said too, you said the South is easy. East side is real game. Make money before you even hunt or shut up and cry. That's some real shit. You know? You said if you like man, that's on you. No. Raven ain't like that. Oh man, y'all about to get into it. You know, y'all chill. It's all good. But no, look. You know, modern man is evolving. You know, I gotta say this, especially in Black America. It has to start with the youngins, because Black America, you know, has this obsession with youth, you know. And then it's crazy now if you look at go look at the 30-year-olds from the 90s. You know, some of y'all are sports fans and y'all play basketball or watch basketball or watch some of these shows and stuff like that. Go look at the average 30-year-old in the NBA in the 90s and early 2000s versus the 30-year-olds of today, the millennials. Obviously, black people, yes, and people in general, generation in general, yes, we got good genetics, but we have an unhealthy obsession with youth. Then on top of that, we have a arrested development complex going on. Black people have a arrested development complex going on. You dig? We have a arrested development complex going on. Now, yeah, one of the inbreds done came in here, Mr. Texas Made. Now, a lot of white people ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but this is the truth. If you go look at the numbers, okay? And I'm actually saying this out of helping y'all instead of, saying what I need to say. Texas Made inbred. The white community's in a fucked up crisis in America. They are in a fucked up crisis in America because, number one, a lot of the psyops that they've been running on black people have backfired and transferred over to them. Okay? Number two, their woman, just like black women, a lot of that stuff has transferred over to them because of feminism. To a certain degree, both women are causing problems for two different reasons. Black women are just wasting their time, stalling up the black community, and just kind of eternally fucking themselves over, thinking that they're feminists. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thinking that they're feminists. So, that's a problem in and of itself. A lot of white women some of them may legitimately have reasons. Some of them may know what they're talking about. Most of them still don't. They're fucking themselves over because they are actual feminists in a day and age that don't need feminists. Like, really think about it. Let's say you have a body, and let's say you're a victim and you're an advocate for healing because you have a cut on your arm, and this cut keeps bleeding, and you keep applying bandages to it, and one day men create technology, men do what they need to do, and it stops your arm from bleeding because you've spent a long time complaining, using messages, and saying, hey, I need to heal, I need you to fix this, and blah, blah, blah. So let's say when you get the rights, Let's say when you get to work. Let's say when you start getting the money and getting the jobs and getting everything that you want. Why would you still be a feminist? And then in your mind, are you even around long enough to keep those things for you? Because you really don't care about the generations of women after you. It's only for you. And let's say you set out on this journey when you were a little girl, which most do. You get into your 30s, you probably become a little bit bitter if it doesn't go the way you want to. And then God knows where you might end up in your 40s. Because your 30s might be delayed to your 40s. Then you look to the younger women, and they're on some fuck you, I'm trying to get it in, I'm trying to do what you're doing. They're trying to emancipate themselves from y'all also. And then now you're a captain with no ship. Have you not seen this on the internet a billion times? Have you not seen this on the internet a billion times? And no matter which side of the board you're on, you're looking for a man to save you. What's the point of getting all these rights and laws and shit like that? You ain't into law. Like, what the fuck? You don't even know the laws. You don't know about the rights. You don't even invoke them. Your thing is if you can get something out of it, and if you got something out of it. And what can you get? Versus the circumstances and the cards that you're dealt. You know? Women are reactive. They don't want to be super active when it comes to certain things. It's like the cards that are dealt to them. So they can only go off of their circumstances and what cards are really dealt to them, unless they want to, actually be active and get up and do certain things. Actually, it needs to be a mixture the same way as men. It needs to be a cause and effect instead of a effect and cause. Most women are effect and cause because they're like, oh, well, a whole bunch of broke guys are approaching me. Okay, well, why don't you start approaching rich men? I don't want to do that. Okay, then you're going to be subject to a whole bunch of broke dudes or whatever is going to approach you. You're going to be at the mercy of whatever. It's the same thing when people are looking for the one. It's called a chance encounter. So if you're not actively moving or bringing or stirring something up every so often as a woman, you're going to be subject to your environment and subject to whatever you created for yourself. Men, yeah, they can be subject to what happens in their life. A lot of guys take that route, but the thing is that you can kick up some dust and make some shit happen. And damn near orchestrate some shit. Women, not so much. I mean, actually they can, but they would have to really understand their environment. They would have to really understand what they can attract. They would have to really appraise themselves. And that's and other women have nearly made that impossible for modern women. You know what I'm saying? They with the internet and all the stuff going on, it's damn near impossible in modernity, for women. Most women will have to do what most women aren't willing to do, which is get off of social media and go live your real life and deal with the people that you meet in real life. Overexposure is detrimental to whatever hypergamy women think that they're going to practice. They're not practicing hypergamy. It's hopergamy. That's what's going on. And the more they make being with them transactional, because they're not smart, they're rookies, the more men are going to evolve. And modern men are evolving right now, bread or buns. And they're not going to really have anything to do, because guess what? It's like you're a lousy opportunist anyway. And I'm not going to lie, most women do business. Most women are business minded, but being a lousy opportunist, it fucks up your business. And then when you're using the same thing to conduct business with, and your emotions is behind it, you've put yourself in a fucked up situation. Think about it. If you sell pussy, and I hate to say it like that, if you sell pussy, do you not know that you're going to have to use that same coochie that you sold to keep your husband? To attract your husband? To acquire a husband? Man, I've been seeing a bunch of little disgusting, fucked up stuff. I totally forgot. I saw on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Twitter and Facebook not too long ago. And I know I said this like several years back, but these videos start to resurface. You know who I be looking at sideways now? All over again? Women with dogs and women with pets. I saw this disgusting video of that woman that got killed a long time ago, a minute ago, that was sleeping with that horse. I said, damn, ain't that a biatch? And then there's a video that keeps resurfacing of this. One was a white woman, and then the other one was a black girl, beautiful black girl. But she's sleeping with her dog. These girls be sleeping with their animals, bro. They be sleeping with their dogs. Or letting their dogs lick their private parts and shit. Like, I'm like, dang. I totally forgot about this shit. It slipped my mind that I forgot that bestiality was a thing. And you see a girl and oh, okay, she got a little cute dog. The extent that I used to go to or know about, like back in the day as a player, is that, you would get a lot of girls and they would have pets. And they will have like a little dog, but it's a boy. Or they'll have a big dog, but it's a boy. Because some of them need some type of masculine or male figure in their life that they're currently bossing around on a day-to-day basis. And it made a little bit of sense. And I sat there and I saw that shit and I said, dang, I forgot that this is what a lot of women are doing with their pets. You go look at these these S toys that they got for sale at like at Spencer's and stuff like that. It's like some of them are octopus tentacles, some of them are horse stuff. They got all these toys. They got, man, women have completely slut themselves out and can't even blame it on a man. That too, the teachers are going crazy. You right about that, party? And then notice these are women that have no trouble getting a man. And I already know the answer to this, but I want to run it by you guys because some people are new here, and this question doesn't slip their mind. This question doesn't doesn't align or it doesn't align and it slips their mind. Uh, why would a beautiful woman have trouble getting a man? And when you ask a question forward, sometimes you have to ask the question in reverse. Why wouldn't a beautiful woman have trouble getting a man? Some people never sit down and think that. Has it ever slipped your mind that the man is available in their lives? Women cry, they bitch, they moan, they scream, and they yell, and they come up with all kinds of stupid shit, and this question even never crosses their mind. Why wouldn't a woman have trouble getting a man that looks good? Oh, I know why they wouldn't have trouble getting a man that looks good. Because they're the fucking problem. Imagine being the problem, not changing, don't want to change, and annoyed that the answer is always knocking at your door. Women will do that. Because there's not going to be a guy that's going to sit around and listen to her bullshit. Because it makes no sense to sit around listening to her bullshit. Women, in a lot of cases, and I hate to say this, ladies, and it's true, y'all don't be wanting to bring closure to something. Y'all just want to talk about something. Y'all just want to talk about something. Most women want a guy to sit there and listen to her problems when she has problems with certain things. And it's not about stopping those things, because their reasoning and their dopamine goes up when they sit around and talk about certain things, because it goes back to what I was telling you guys earlier, how she's ruled by her emotions. So psychologically, if she was in a state where she was afraid, where she was angry, where she was confused, or she was upset, if she felt all of those emotions, she needs a caliber of conversation that's going to make her feel all of those emotions with you, but in a more safe setting. So when she was going through whatever she's about to talk to you about, but she's with you, it's over some food, and she's having some drinks, relatively and physically, she's safe because she's not going through that emotion now. But when she's talking to you about how she felt and all of those emotions, not trying to, and this is the problem with guys. Guys don't know how to do any active listening. The guys don't understand. They're obviously trying to solve a damn problem that's not going to get solved, or she doesn't want to be solved. When she's sitting there talking to you about that bullshit that she probably entertained or put herself through, what happens is she feels a little bit more safe when she's with you. Yes, those attributes come back to you to a certain degree if you know how to play it. Yes, it takes the load off of her for feeling safe because she's around you and she can talk to you about that stupid shit, right? But depending on your tact, depending on how you do it, depending if you allow her to do that, or where you sit on the totem pole, if you're the first guy in the batch, or you're the second guy, or the fifth guy, it depends on where you are. I talk about this in my book that you guys need to go purchase. Okay? I talk about this in my book, about being the invisible man. The thing is that some women have tried to run this play on so many guys that even if she successfully runs this play on you, something in her head will eventually click and be like, you know what? This guy is unattractive. Because he sat there and listened to me talk about that, and all the guys that I've been attracted to would not give me the time, didn't want to hear it. That didn't change how, you know what I'm saying, I feel about them, even though it makes me attracted to them a little bit more. But he must not have nothing going on in his life to sit around and listen to me bitch about nothing once it's said and done. It's kind of like their post-nut clarity. It's kind of like their post-nut clarity. You know what I'm saying? It can be their post-nut clarity. See, depending on how you go about it, a woman's post-nut clarity can be a realization of her not being attracted to you, and it can also be an epiphany of her to be attracted to you. That's why women don't really work too well with hypotheticals, because like I said, you know what I'm saying, women think in ultimatums, but they love the third option. And this is why I tell y'all, and I give y'all the game, I say, yo, you gotta be the third option. You know, you gotta know where she's thinking and be like, yo, have you considered this though? And pique her interest. Because they think in ultimatums. You gotta be the third and fourth option. And half the time too, she's only conflicted with two things. When you're a good third or fourth option, you don't even give her the option to make a choice. You just go along with it. Because it's better than the two that she's bullshitting over. Yeah, I heard what you said, but this is what I'm going to do. You can follow if you want to or not, but it's better than what you're thinking about. That's what piques their interest. That's the type of demeanor you got to have. It's either you going to do this and I become your girlfriend, or you not. You got to be like, well, I'm going to get with your homegirl. And now she's like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Oh my God. See, she done forgot about the other two options now. And then she's more attracted to you. People, you know, it's funny. People are looking at this, you know, I'm actually give y'all some good game. As always, I've been giving y'all some good game right now. I've been cooking. All right. Y'all throw something in the pot and support the show. Hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. Listen to what I'm telling you. Look at Young Thug and Glorilla. Right? Look at the Young Thug and Glorilla situation. Do you know a lot of people are going to sit up there and be like, oh man, that's fucked up what Young Thug said about Glorilla and blah, blah, blah. Do you know that actually makes Glorilla more attracted to Young Thug? In a crazy way? Do you know that? People are like, oh man, Young Thug, he a gossipy ass nigga, which he is. Oh, he didn't have to say that about Glorilla. These niggas are fucking lying because they were saying the same shit about Glorilla. It's the same thing as a content creator. You can say and do all the dopest things in the planet, right? On the planet. And when somebody says that, oh, you ain't this and you ain't that, out of all of the people that probably give you your props, that's the shit that stand out. Women say, oh, I got this confidence, I'm doing this, I ain't trying to impress nobody. And then be posting it online. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to impress somebody. Glorilla will still be attracted to Young Thug for a myriad of reasons. It doesn't even matter if he said what he said, because it's like, okay, well, now I got the bag. Now I look good. What about now? Glorilla done hung out with Young Thug's girl, his current girl right now. So she knows what he can pull. Ain't that not social proof? It don't matter if she bought her beauty, not in today's economy. It don't matter if she bought her beauty. It's like, what about now? Now she's a little bit more accomplished. It's like, okay, well, what about now? Glorilla is more interested in meeting Young Thug than a Young Thug should be more interested in meeting a Glorilla. It don't mean nothing. Glorilla is going through that point in her life, right? Yeah, right, and one right party. I'm dropping these gems, y'all. Y'all hit the like button, support the show. I got y'all. I'm dropping these gems. All right? Y'all know when y'all support the show, I go off. Now listen. Glorilla is going through that point in her life right now where she can sit back and be like, damn, I done lost these friends. Damn, everybody that used to talk crazy about me now, I just got another platinum plaque in the mail that's coming to my house. Damn, I got a Maybach outside. Damn, I just got an award or got an award show to go to, or I got to be here and be on stage, or I got to do this and I got to do that. Damn. Yo, Glorilla still want to work with Thug. That's money. Niggas are sitting up here, oh man, Thug talking crazy about that. Man, y'all are just hearing conversations that niggas in the music industry got all the fucking time. Half these niggas ain't musicians and stuff like that. Now, is what Thug's saying gossipy? Of course it's gossipy. But guess what? This happens all the time. Hey man, we think you got a hit on your hands. We got the budget. Do you want to get Tink or Lotto to be on this song? With the vibe of this song, I like Tink, but she really don't got the voice or the personality to take this song to the next level. And then also too, the song is projected to do good, and we got to shoot a music video and stuff for it. And like, I kind of, she really not my type. So whoever's going to really be there, I kind of have to, kind of vibe with them in the video or potentially on stage. You know what I'm saying? For this to actually look the aesthetic, for it to actually look right. And then also too, you got the little politics outside of business. Like, okay, she on this label, and I don't fuck with this dude from her label that's from my city that's doing this, that, and the third. And I know she be hanging out with him and be around his little homeboys and shit like that. So when I come around her, I'm going to need to bring my entourage because some shit could go down. Y'all don't think about no shit like that. Y'all don't think about no shit like that. Or, oh, I fuck with Dolph because Dolph was affiliated with Gucci, and Glorilla is one of Yo Gotti's artists. I don't really F with Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti don't really F with me because he know I'm affiliated with Gucci. But this is the new person that he signed. And I'm like, this is funny. The other side, they losing, man. Yo Gotti ain't even signing girls that look worth a damn. Then it turned into a Glorilla. See, y'all don't think like that. Preemptive thinking ain't in a lot of niggas' blood. It's not. And that's the thing about preemptive thinking. A lot of guys don't mind making certain miscalculations. Now, should you keep certain things to yourself? Of course. And that's why I was gonna I used the wrong title for today's show. The original title for today's show was You know, don't get too wrapped up into the internet because most people don't post their failures. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all some great game. Y'all hit the like button, support the show. Hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. Most people, they don't post their failures. So it gives off the illusion that they're perfect. Most people do not post their failures. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't post their failures. Most people do not post their failures. You know? Most people don't. And the funny part is that you got people like Glorilla that thought about that think about herself that way, because she wouldn't have got her nose done. She wouldn't have got her teeth done. I was watching this video that I wanted to post a couple months ago when people was going in on Diddy and calling him creepy and weird and shit like that. I'm like, you know, Diddy ain't really creepy and weird. He's a cuck. But it was this video and this footage of the band, and he was telling this person, like, yo, you need to lose some weight and, you know, do this, that, and the third. And people like, oh, that's mean. It's like, no, that's not mean. If you got a record label and you got people spending a damn budget on you, it's in your best interest to do that. He was telling Dylon, yo, you need to visit a dermatologist and kind of clean up your skin. That's not him being mean. That's him telling dude to fucking go visit a damn dermatologist and protect that bag. And then also, too, the stuff that people are telling you to do, they don't necessarily have to always mention to you that you will find a newfound gain. You will have a newfound confidence in that. You know, when you're an artist, especially a rapper, to a certain degree, you sell things. You sell an image. You sell words. You know, when you go into the studio and you want to do a track that everybody's going to feel, and it's like, hey, I want this track to make y'all feel sad. I want y'all to feel the pain in this track. And let's say you wrote it and stuff like that. You know, when you wrote it, you might be going through it and you might really be feeling that pain. And you took that pain that you felt and you took it out and you put it on that paper. But the day that you go record that song, you know what I'm saying? You might not be feeling that exact same pain the day you go record that song. So you have to know how to control the volumes in your voice. You got to know how to control the tone. You got to know how to control the inflections. You got to know how to control a lot of different things, because guess what? You want to generate that same pain that you felt when you wrote that record on that track. So the person that's listening to it can be like, damn, yo, bro, real as hell. You know? And this is what's called cadence. You have to have that cadence in your voice so people could because the thing is that, like, you ever listen to like jazz music and it's like, god damn, this saxophone spitting, and it's like the saxophone never said a word, but just the highs and lows and how everything is going together in copacetic. It's like a conversation that this instrument is having with you, and you can't put it in words because guess what? It's not in words. It's not in words. It's not in words. And see, what even makes it fucked up is because we living in a day and age in society where most people want to be robots nowadays. They want to, or they are robots, essentially. The organic wants to be the mechanic. And most people got to hear and feel and play things to remind themselves, like, hey, bro, you got a soul. You know, you got a soul. You know, you got certain cars out here that are great cars, engineered perfectly and everything, but that car don't mean nothing if there's no driver to drive it and show it. Doesn't have a soul. A set of drums, it was said to say that, if you look at drums, that there's a soul in those drums and not in the hide that's used to make the drums, but every drum has a soul in it. But until you tap that drum and hear the actual sound that it makes, there's no soul. Human beings are the only beings on the planet that has a soul. Bag of bones. You know? That's moving, capable of things. The soul. Your brain and your heart come together and introduces the soul to life. You know? And your eyes are the window to the soul. So, when you listen to music, use your senses, which are the things that you use to interact with this planet. Sometimes you have, something where it's like, I'm sad this week, right? And I'm going to play music that makes me sad while I'm sad. It makes me even sadder while I'm sad, because it's not that I don't want to be happy. It's because I'm trying to think. And some of the words in this song doesn't help you to think, but it helps you to cope. It's called, we call it copium, or hopium, because it gives you hope. But it's to put you in a mindset so that you can kind of really try to piece together and understand what's going on. And that's kind of where you know what I'm saying? That's kind of where where your soul gets wrapped up into this bind to try to understand and grasp the situation. That's what your brain does. Your brain try to compartmentalize things and grasp a situation, And if you're not wise or haven't been in certain situations, it might take your brain a long time to come to terms with certain things. That's why they say time heals all. Time heals all. What's going on, LT, man? I wish I could see your Instagram reel, but I'm on my phone, bro. What exactly is that? LT man said, like this guy, he's not saying a word. The drum is saying everything. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean, LT man. Good to see you, bro. Hopefully your day is going well. Good afternoon. You said enjoying my lunch, chicken tender wrapped in lettuce. Oh man, that sounds good. Shout outs to LT man in the building. And definitely LT man, if you could do me a favor and put the link for Hemp for Fitness in the chat room, because it's hard for me to do it on my phone, so I can pin it to the top of the chat and everybody can check it out and head over to Hemp for Fitness. Speaking of lunch, eating, having a great day, and staying healthy, I need you guys to head over to hempforfitness.com. That is hempforfitness.com. Head over to hempforfitness.com. Okay, and check out their selections. And don't expect results. Start feeling them. All right. But yeah, man, with artists, you'll have artists that'll have on chains. You'll have artists that have cars and stuff like that. And the artists, they're virtually, probably broke or don't really have it like that. but it's the artist's job, and it's in the artist's best interest to sell you the image. And this is what people throw their life away. You know what I'm saying? This is what people throw their life away for, to look like. So it's really not, I mean, it's not necessarily the artist's fault, but then again, it is the artist's fault. You know what I'm saying? Because the artist has to put on an image that the person wants to see. You know what I'm saying? The artist has to put on an image that the person wants to see. And even if the artist don't have enough money to keep up with that image, it's not just the artist that goes broke to try to look like that. The consumer goes broke to try to look like that. Look at everything on the internet right now. You got regular people that want all of these women like they're an artist, but they don't know how to create, and they're not necessarily talented, but they're destroying themselves to try to have the dating pool of let's say of a little Uzi Vert, or you know, or like, it's the average man that also wants groupies, but I'm not gonna say he's not doing nothing amazing with his life, but let's just keep it 100. What stage is he on? Can he rap? Has he ever been to a studio? Does he know, what does his voice sound like? Does he know how to use a microphone? Does he know how to change the tones in his voice? Okay, he probably can't rap, but does he have a ghostwriter? Does he know how to mix his vocals? Does he have an engineer? Does he know what mix and mastering is? Does he know about percentages? Does he know about lease agreements? Does he know about radio play? Does he have an A&R? Does he have a manager? Does he have a publicist? Does he have a social media? Does he have a following? Does he have an EPK? Does he go out to open mics? Does he have a catalog? Do you see all of the shit that I'm naming? I can name 10 more. These are all the things you need to have just to be a basic artist. Damn near. But niggas just skip all of that, man. I want the same options as Future. And they will mess with women that they have no business messing with. They will destroy their lives to do so. They don't know. Most people don't know. So, I'm not going to say like a woman like Glorilla's going to be mad at Young Thug. I mean, he was judging her from a life that she didn't live. She knew money. That's why she ain't all out diss him. Because she know. What's going on, Toya? Toya said Buns. Good to see you. Toya know what I'm talking about. I think it's all over TikTok. You know? Good to see you, love. Oh yeah, hit me up when you kind of, you know, get halfway, you know, do that thing I was telling you about. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up when you kind of get halfway through it. Don't take too much time on it, because you can always go back to it if you need to, because half that stuff you ain't gonna use anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, shout outs to Stoic. It's like what Stoic was saying. You know, if you've been living in America all your life and speaking English, you have 35 plus years of experience, you know? So that's funny and it's true at the same time, you know? So don't worry too much about the stuff that they're talking about. It's just literally a refresher to get you more familiar with what's going on, you know? But I put it together. I got the next step lined up for you. What's going on, UFO Kamikaze? Good to see you, man. You know. But yeah, Glorilla, she not gonna be necessarily unattracted to Young Thug, and I'm not gonna say it's not even about them hooking up or anything like that, but I'm just saying that in general, you know. But getting back to the topic at hand, that modern man is evolving. It's the younger generation because black people idolize youth, and not because black people are immature or we have growing up to do or whatever, and we're in an arrested development situation. It's more so that the youth runs the black community. You know what I'm saying? The youth runs the black community. And you don't necessarily see that everywhere else. You understand what I'm saying? When you have other genres of music other than hip-hop, right? Let's say I want to play guitar. I may listen to the bands that are out right now and have a certain, a certain section in my music repertoire of the bands and what they're doing out now. But guess what? Even the bands that I listen to now, if I want to play guitar, they're gonna do what I'm about to tell you that they do, right? Which is they listen to Kurt Cobain, who's an old head, or would have been an old head if he was here. Or they listen to Dave Grohl or the Foo Fighters. They listen to Tame Impala, or they listen to, whatever part of the genre, where they play guitars. They listen to them, the older genre. These rock stars, hell, even Led Zeppelin is still touring. These rock stars are listening to older cats. They're getting the game from the older cats, right? They're getting the game from the older generation. Yo, how did Bruce Springsteen do this? Yo, how did Jimi Hendrix do this? How did that person do that? They're getting the game from the older generation. You got guys coming into the hip-hop game and they look up to NBA Youngboy. They look up to Rob 49. They look up to the you got in the black community, you got old people that look up to young people. And I'm not saying that the younger generation is something not to look up to. I'm not saying that, they haven't accomplished anything or their feats, or anything like that. That they haven't, set any records or nothing like that. But it's backwards. It's backwards. It's backwards. And then you look at today's society, how no one gives a damn about the older crowd that is accomplished, that are legends. You go look at how they're treating not Angie Stone, rest in peace to Angie Stone, but you go look at how they're treating Kelly Price right now. Go look at how they're treating Kelly Price right now. and what they got to say about Kelly Price. You go look at Scarface right now. These younger cats don't listen to no fucking Scarface. It's to the point that Scarface is like, man, I'm not even gonna drop no albums. Not just because of streaming. Streaming don't really stop people from dropping music. You know, if you have an audience of people and you have a base of people that love and support you, they're gonna love and support you regardless. But even he's like, it's just not the climate for it. You got people going live and playing certain songs, and it's like my reaction to it. And you got other people sitting up there looking at an 18-year-old's reaction to Scarface's Hand of a Dead Body, as if the 18-year-old is going to say something profound when he hears that fucking record. Yo, in my humble opinion, let me go see what this Scarface thing talking. Man, nigga, you don't know shit about that record. You haven't even experienced enough to even soak in the game that's on that record. You haven't even been introduced to hip hop that gets into vast storytelling. You've never heard actual real poetry, much less seen it in motion. And it's like, yo, look at my reaction to something that I don't know shit about. Don't know shit about it. They don't know Scarface. This shit is funny. And shame on a lot of the older cats, because y'all are listening to niggas that never even operated a landline phone. I said that yesterday, and I'm gonna say it again today. Listening to niggas' opinions on something, it's like, nigga, you don't even know what a dial-up phone is. You never had a cordless phone in your life. Watch out. Or whatever Young Thug said. So bread or buns nowadays, you know, and I got to give it to the younger generation. It gotta be the younger generation that gotta move the needle, because the older generation can't. I'm telling you that tricking is an old man's game, and it's simps and tricks that fucked up the dating game. I can understand a young simp, because to a certain degree he got room to learn. I don't know how I feel. I don't like it, but I don't know how I feel about young tricks, because usually that's kind of when you learn. Honestly, like, a lot of guys learn about that before they turn into actual tricks. Like, when you're young and you get played, like, honestly, this is like some elementary, middle school shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you necessarily shouldn't be getting played out of your money. You know, like, when you're young, you should be getting played out of, like, Valentine's Day cards, or candy, or your time, or like a Chipotle burrito or some shit like that. Like, you shouldn't be getting played out of, like, physical cash, you know, when you're young. You know, that really shouldn't be the, you know, you should learn your lessons with those items. And then the concept should get switched when you swap those items out for money, when it's more higher stake. You know what I'm saying? Okay, give me 1 second, Sin. Let me go back. I haven't been looking at the comment section. I've been trying to land the plane. You said there's levels to interracial fuckery when it comes to our race. Yeah, but all of that stuff, Sin, is featureism. All of that stuff can get ruled out. Yeah, shout outs to Scarface. Absolutely, Sin. Yeah, their phone's never been connected to the wall a day in their life, but think they kicking wisdom to you. Yeah, but this is the thing. Young boys never tricked. And if they did, tricking was a lame concept to young niggas. Even square dudes. Tricking was a lame concept to them because it's like, okay, look. I'm jumping off the porch. I'm not well established in no career like that. I'm not rolling around in your dad's money. That's the thing. Little girls want to deal with men that got their dad's money. Little girls want to deal with guys that got their dad's money. This is why when you were a young man, you saw a girl that you liked get into a car with a grown-ass man. You know? They want to deal with a guy that has their dad's money. Thank you, Sin. You said in colorism, I really dealt with it, but I've seen it. Well, it goes colorism first. What's going on, Dougie? It goes colorism first. Then it goes to featureism. And then it goes to classism. You have colorism, then you have featureism, then you have classism. You know? Absolutely, Dougie. Absolutely. And you know, I've been lacing y'all with this game for a long time and laying paint where it ain't and doing what other podcasters can't. If you guys could please hit the like button and support the show by hitting the Cash App at $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. Also, please support the show via PayPal. No matter which route you go, please support the show. All right? Double tap the screen and hit the like button. I'm dropping these gems off on you guys on a Friday. You know what I'm saying? Don't let what I'm saying go in vain, man. You know, I'm always giving you guys some real good information. Some news you can use, not the twos and fews. You know what I'm saying? Give you guys some mental chewing gum and impart this knowledge on your brain. So I'm glad you guys came. And definitely please hit the like button and support the show, okay? Yeah, laying paint where it ain't. And thank you guys. I'm glad you guys are here. So listen, tricking was never a young man's hustle because the thing is that a young man definitely has the desire for the woman that he wants, but he knows that little goofy girl from math class is not worth that type of money, even though he's still saving up to throw his life away on this woman. But he doesn't understand how it's going to unfold once he gets older. If you ask a young man at 15 about the girl that he's in puppy love with or smitten with or one-nighters head over heels or that he's, you know what I'm saying, enamored with at 15, and then you catch up with him at 25 and ask him about that same girl, you are going to get a different answer. Because now he had a decade worth of life. He has a decade worth of, you know, and I'm not going to lie, it seems like it's a long time, but 15 to 25 it really ain't that long. 15 to 25 really ain't that long. You know? Like I said, when we were young, we would take that money and take our girls out on dates, but we going out to go get some ice cream. We going out to go roller skating and drink some hot chocolate and shit. You know? We going to just go to the liquor store and get toe up in the back seat. You know? We going to go smoke and go eat tacos after the museum. You know? We going to go just do shit that young people do. I'm not taking you to Paris. I'm not picking you up in a Gucci helicopter. Like, you know, what are we doing? Young dudes they were more humble. They you know, these women will be sleeping with chopped dudes because they selling their body. If a woman is selling her body, fellas, I don't even think you understand that she's sleeping with losers daily. Daily. And I don't think you understand that if she's really out there like that. She's around a bunch of simps daily. A lot of them keep themselves around a bunch of simps so they can have somebody to listen to their BS and say stupid shit all day. This is why they're allergic when they get to you sometimes. Because they surrounded themselves by that. Some of these women that actually would have grown up with yes men around them and naturally grow out of it, nowadays they don't have those people. So guess what? They have to arrange to have those people in their lives. And you'll run into an average woman that has, if not worse, and it's always going to be worse, the same disgusting attitude as a quote-unquote bona fide dime like back in the day. But guess what? The script and her don't match. And it's an imbalance. It's an imbalance. So it's sad that, you know, a lot of women have sold themselves out and have destroyed themselves. And men are primitive. Men are fucking cavemen. And it's sad because men are late bloomers. And now it takes this for them for men to actually sit up there and, you know, and honestly, the you know, the bread or buns thing, it's some goofy shit too. Honestly, it's some goofy shit too, because niggas are gonna sit there and spend the bread back on the same woman that gave them the buns. It's some young nigga shit. They're gonna spend the bread back on the same woman that gave them the buns anyway. And the girls, they can always get the bread, because women have no problem robbing Pete to pay Paul. There's no, that shit is like bank or bank to them. There's really no repercussions for them to rob Pete to pay Paul. But it's a step. I will say that. If niggas ain't gonna listen, it's a step. You know? What's going on, LT, man? Yeah, young dudes now is tricking because they're using prostitutes to substitute their dating pool. And I tried to stop that. Young men of yesteryear was a lot a bit smarter. It's dumb. And if you're a young man doing that, you already crashed out. If you're a young man doing that, you already crashed out. And honestly, it's not good for women to have young men doing that also too, because guess what? Where does, you know, I mean, that's a bad financial choice. And where does it leave the future of men, of men in America, especially of black men? If you have young men at that age making a financial choice like that, it's like, bro, you're destroying yourself before you get better. And women don't give a fuck at that point, because guess what? That they feel that they're at their best at that time also. So it's a good choice. Well, why won't he spend money on me? I want what I want. She not even, first of all, she not even thinking about her own damn self at that point. She's selfish, but not thinking about her own damn self, meaning in the future. So she don't care. She see a lot of other people doing it. Women are like monkeys. They do what the other woman is doing. They just follow the trends. That's just kind of how it goes. And the same thing with dudes, you know? But the younger dudes should have a little bit more sense, because guess what? They're strapped. You know, they're strapped for resources and stuff like that. They're learning how to jump off the porch. You know? They don't really have that much resources and stuff like that. You know? But that makes them green. LT man said, checking the update on my cold wallet. Okay. You said that question, Cuda, has different answers for different groups, I think. You said which question? Cause it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I've seen all the young boys in every different race do the same thing. Young men aren't out here getting addicted to trick sex. First of all, in a lot of and we know this, right? In a lot of cultures, it don't even cross a lot of young men's mind to pay for sex. You know what I'm saying? A lot of young men are invested in dating. You know, it don't really cross their mind to pay for sex like that, or sex is on the table to be paid for. You know, a lot of young dudes would just give women money to make them happy, not even just straight up for sex. You know, it don't even cross a lot of their mind. Oh, the poll. Well, let's look at the poll. When dating, should she give up bread or buns? So basically, the guy was saying, on a date, a guy takes a girl out on a date, and then at the end of the date, he looks at her and say, bread or buns. You know, and I mean, I think that's really not how you set that up. Because if she was smart, she'll just walk off, especially if you already paid. But some dudes negotiate that before the date. Hey, look, bread or buns and stuff like that. Or some women, if they're still debating if they like you, or they're not sure, they'll skip around on that question. But if a woman, a more mature woman that's actually smart, she'll just walk off. So you had the young cats asking girls, hey, bread or buns? And you had a couple of women responding to it. Either bread or buns. So that's the thing. So that's why I asked whether when dating, should she give up the bread or buns? 19% says bread, 38% says buns, 25% says both, and 19% says what? So guys, that's the thing, fellas, and that's really how it goes. Guys ain't even really interested in no goddamn money. They interested in buns. What's going on, Bobby? They not interested in no goddamn paper. They like, shit, all right. Cause let me tell you how guys think. This is why I told y'all how a lot of women don't know how to pull millionaires. This is how guys think. When we set aside a certain amount of money, it's called a budget, obviously. But when we set aside a certain amount of money that we gonna spend on you, that money's already spent in our head. So niggas ain't even thinking about making the bread back, because guess what? Okay, we went on a nice date. Okay, I made the bread back, but did I waste my time? Because guess what? I didn't get no buns. See, it backfires. It backfires. I can give you a bunch of reasons how bread and buns would work. That's why I said it, I guess I'm not championing it, but I'm like, okay, well, guess what? Modern man is here. If that's the route they're going, because there's a bunch of goofy girls that don't know this. But if you've been around, you know this. Because a man's gonna say, okay, yeah, I got my money back, but I think I wasted my time. You wasted something. So see, we don't understand the exchange. You know, we don't understand the exchange. You know, you said bread or buns. You said if a man is on on his first date and says that his desperate dumbass and a real woman wouldn't even respond and just walk. That's what I'm saying. Like the real answer for the women would be to walk out. But a woman that's debating or she likes him or whatever, and you know, it's this thing that's going on TikTok. So if you look at it, I want to say something else to this effect, but I'm not gonna say what I want to say. But I'll give y'all a hint. I mean, obviously you want to set this up before you go out with somebody, but I'm seeing cats ask this at like after the check comes or something like that. Honestly, it would be strategic to say it when the check comes, so it seemed like she under pressure to pay or out of nowhere go Dutch. I don't know, but anyway, and this is old game, but you might catch a Me Too movement running with this bread or buns shit. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why like I said earlier, the reason why this jarls a lot of women is because women think in ultimatums. Like a lot of guys don't understand female psychology, and it's almost painful for me to keep explaining this over and over again. Women think in ultimatums, and they refer to themselves and you in third person in their mind, especially if they like you. Women think in ultimatums, and they refer to themselves and guys that they like, even the ones that they don't like, in third person. Kindergarten psychology, kindergarten female psychology. Yeah, ultimatums. Officer Tatum. Let me stop. Ultimatums. You know. You said, I don't need money from a bid. I make my own money. Exactly. So guys are hoping that it's buns. Guys are hoping that it's buns. Because women, like even recently, DDG was like, oh, you know, women cost money and blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't be dating women if you ain't got no money. And it's like, no, that's not the truth. You know, you don't need money to get women, but it's foolish to be, like I said, you don't need money to get women, but it's foolish to be around women without money. You know? And women are running around saying, well, if you're broke, you shouldn't be dating. That's cap also. You know, that's cap also. And if that's the case, then most women wouldn't go out on dates. So they don't hear themselves. Like I said, they think in ultimatums. And they refer to themselves and guys that they like and don't like in third person. So when you say bread and buns to them, she's like, oh, how she, when the message hits her head, her prefrontal cortex, in her head, she's like, oh, he's saying, or, oh, what is he saying? Oh, I think he's saying either money or sex. And it's basically a way to say, are you gonna shit or get up off the pot? You know, are you gonna shit or get up off the pot? Are we doing something or we're not? And guess what? You're inquiring when you make that type of offering, not to waste your time. Dougie earlier quoted Alan Roger Curry. Rest in peace to Alan Roger Curry. But what was Mode 1 about? Not wasting your time. It's your time, fellas. It's your time that's valuable. You can always make the money back, but you can't get your time back. You said, but now this generation, I don't, but now this generation, I don't know. You said, how these young kids work in dating life. They're not even dating, to tell you the truth. I gave y'all the game on dating. I'm gonna repeat it on today's show. All right. Shout outs to everybody here. Please hit the like button, support the show. I got you guys. You said, in my opinion, if a man says something like that on the first date, he has no game. Absolutely. Absolutely. You said a real man knows the chemistry and knows where the date is going, especially at the end of the night. Absolutely. He should already know what she's going to do instead of, you know what I'm saying, throwing an ultimatum out there like that. But I do understand it in today's dating society because people are transactional to a certain degree, or think they're being transactional, you know? And basically what it is just a confirmation. You know, it's just a confirmation. But you know, you should already know, you know, what's gonna happen. You know, I mean, that bread or buns thing, some women may have buyer's remorse, you know. And we gotta talk about it because guys call it post-nut clarity and women call it buyer's remorse. When in actuality, some of them are very similar, even though they're very different, but they're very similar, you know. Women can get a huge return, not a refund, on buyer's remorse. Men can't. Men gotta live with it, you know. So you gotta be careful running that bread or buns thing, because when she sees the trend on the internet, or when she has another guy run that on her or whatever, and he's less attractive or something like that, guess what? She gonna be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. And then guess what? Jail time. Jail time, jail time, jail time, jail time. You said, but now men are rising up and taking dates. Men are rising up and taking dates on mediocre date/place just to see how the date's going, but they chastise you about the place as if he's broke. I'm sure many are not. Women chastise the men about where they take them as if the man is broke. Yeah, I mean, about the coffee dates and stuff like that. Yeah, they absolutely, they you know. But see, it's really, it's a dice roll for men, because women believe that just because they talk a lot, that they're actually saying something, when it takes them, like I said, men say about 10,000 words per day, if that. Women say about 30,000 words per day. Base minimum, right? Women believe that they're better conversationalists because they can have a fruitful conversation and take a long time to say something that could only take 2-3 minutes. And I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with that, being because I'm a conversationalist. Because In an extended conversation, you can go deep. There's certain layers of the conversation. When you feel good or bad about something, your emotions and stuff is going up and down in the conversation. There's rooms to make jokes. There's room to tell stories. There's room to express yourself. There's room to feel heard at certain parts. There's rooms for fulfillment. There's rooms for, see, there's a lot of things that goes on in an extendo conversation, even though a conversation can literally be like 1 or 2 minutes. A lot of things can occur in a conversation. And this is like, this is what they do amongst each other. And it's a form of intellectual sparring. You know what I'm saying? It's a form of intellectual sparring. But with men, we can enjoy longer conversations depending on our interest level. And then we can also be okay with something, that's short and to the point. Because a lot of times we can finish off the conversation in our head, or we can finish off the conversation, with our thoughts and reasoning and stuff like that. We don't need closure, and we don't need the emotional roller coaster. We don't necessarily need the deepness. We don't, we operate a lot different. So back in the day, before cell phones really exploded, remember in the 80s and in the 90s and in the early 2000s, women would say, don't text me, call me. I want to hear it. Because remember, men can do without. We don't need to hear your voice. We don't need to hear how you said it. We don't need to hear if your voice cracked when you said it. We don't need to, you know what I'm saying? Texting, a lot of people haven't been briefed on texting in general. You want to know why men preferred texting women back in the day? They preferred texting women back in the day because guess what? They can say certain things, and it will make them sound confident when it necessarily didn't make them sound confident. When they're not gonna sound confident if they were to say that to her face to face, but especially on a phone call where they can't really see each other, right? So what texting did back in the day, it added in an extra layer. Then what was jarring women at the time when texting first came out, I remember this like it was yesterday, because I remember I was right in the middle of being a, I was a slut, I was a pickup artist at the time. So I'm letting y'all know exactly what happened. And this was a big thing in the pickup world when texting really started taking off, because women didn't like texting at all. But when they got used to it, the game changed. So I'm kind of want you guys to kind of step back into memory lane. Because see, this was the thing about texting. Back in the day, remember, a woman will respond to you and send you a message back. And guess what? You have all the time in the world to respond. You like, dang, okay, something that I would have had to come up with on the spot and sound confident and say it. You know what I'm saying? Let me think of something. And then you responded. And it made you sound confident. And it made you sound, like you knew what you was talking about. It made you sound like you had it all together and stuff like that. Men got a boost out of that because they didn't have to necessarily respond as soon as she said something back to them. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point where, let's say if you hanging out with your boys and you were telling them about that girl, and then that girl texts you and you like, damn, what do I say? And your bro like, hey, yo, hand me your phone real quick. I got you. And then whole team, it's been times. I know I'm not the only one. It's been times. And I've never handed the phone to my bros. I was always the guy the phone got handed to. But whole time, your bro will rizz up this girl via text. She thinks she talking to you, but she talking to him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure, ladies, y'all probably did that with I don't really hear much about it, but I'm pretty sure, vice versa. Oh, this guy's texting me, and oh, he's saying stuff, and oh, it's funny, and blah, blah, blah. And When the phone used to get handed to me and I would riz up certain girls, and my bros would give me like like a little backstory on her. Hey, I met her here. Hey, she talking about this. What up, Cap? Hey, she talking about this. Hey, she talking about that, right? I would text the girl and I would tell, when I hand the phone back to my bro, I'd be like, listen, yeah, we had a good conversation. You got a date set up on Saturday at 3 p.m. And he like, what? Oh, my nigga, damn, yeah, man, thank you, bro. Damn, I didn't know, blah, 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 this and the third. I'm like, all right, look. Yeah, stop all of that. And I'm telling him, I'm like, look, you need to read what the hell me and her was talking about. And I ain't gonna lie, I think, when we got a little bit older, I think women could actually tell, But anyway, I would tell him, you need to read what we was talking about so you're updated, because we'll be playing like pool table or something like that. And, I'd be like, look, I got you, right? So I would tell him, I'm like, look, read the conversation we were talking about. So like if she talks to you or says something to you about this on the date, or if she you know what I'm saying, brings this up, you'll kind of already know what's going on. But number one, you need to be congruent with what the hell is in this damn message thread. You know what I'm saying? And I had bros that went out on a date. They didn't listen to me. They didn't read the text messages. They didn't follow instructions. They were not congruent. And the girl picked up on that immediately. Or, and this happened to me a couple of times, they would bring the girl that didn't know the whole time she was talking to me around. And somehow during conversation, or when I'm talking, or they introduce the girl to the group and I get introduced and stuff like that, the girl ends up picking up on, oh, whole time I could tell whole time I was talking to him. I wasn't talking to the guy I came here for. Cause he's not congruent with what was said on the phone. Men could play all kinds of different games when texting came out, right? And then guess who started dominating texting? Women. Women. Wanna know why? Because women didn't have to necessarily respond to you. Women would be talking to multiple dudes, whereas you have guys that been trying to talk to women via text, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to wait 10 minutes. I'm going to wait 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Before I say something back, because I don't want to feel like I'm too invested in this conversation. That's one of the first things men learn when you're texting women, that, oh, okay, let me not hurry up and respond because it's gonna seem like I'm too invested in this conversation and stuff like that. Guys understand that, but they don't know why they're doing it. Whereas the girl, she's texting other guys and her homegirl and whoever she's talking to all at the same time, and damn near conflating some of the conversations that's going on, with other conversations and stuff. Whereas the guy, he's waiting for an opportune time to respond and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And what stifles the guy and what messes the guy up too, that women learn before men do when texting, or even in a message, because it's the same thing with the messenger now. They're all intertwined now. Is sometimes to be texting other people, and then when you respond back to them, it's like a low effort thing. See, I learned all of the game and the tricks of the trades. I learned double texting. I learned how to get people to instantly respond to you. A lot of guys, you text a woman and she's not responding back to you. I know how to text anybody and get a response back. Because y'all be like, oh, did she see your message or not? And it's like, no, if you say this, you will get a response back. Trust me. You know? Texting, especially if you, depending on what you're talking about, texting is a very manipulative form of communication. You know what I'm saying? Man, I got to do a whole show on that. You know? Oh my God. Shout outs to War Master in the building. Yeah, the search party continues, man. I'm still on the roof, but I make sure I bring you guys a show. The search party continues. He said September 5th, the search for Cuda's Xbox continues. Oh my God. Cynical says, but women making videos of refusing men who wanted to take them out for coffee are weird. If they didn't want to go out for coffee, they could have just rejected them and kept it moving. Well, I will tell you this, Cynical. A lot of those women, men didn't even invite them out for coffee. A lot of those videos where you see those women talking about how a man was talking to them and he was so into them, that all of that shit is fake. It never happened. They just got some nice stuff, or got a deal somewhere, or they saw a cute boy they wanted to talk to at the coffee shop. He didn't say nothing back to them. They wanted to make some content, and guess what? They're just like, you know what? Let me just make up a fake scenario about some guy that was just so head over heels over me because I'm just I'm just so pretty that, you know, he just had to come find out about me and wanted to take me to coffee. But I told him no, because I'm a boss babe. And I'm so independent. They just be lying. They be lying their ass off. Some woman made a funny post. She was like, I remember I looked my 6-year-old son in the face, and he told me, Mom, I love you because you're just so independent, and you know what I'm saying, and you do it on your own, and you go to work, and you blah blah blah. It's like, girl, if you don't get the fuck out of here, ain't no six. Nigga, ain't no 6-year-old telling you this shit. Don't get the fuck out of here. They be lying they ass off. They be really, yo, ladies, bruh. Y'all gotta stop with the bullshit. Y'all be really wanting somebody to, like, overtly compliment y'all on y'all accomplishments. It's okay, but we don't care. You know, unless you won't really get those compliments unless when you're actually in a relationship, or you have a husband or something like that, or you're talking to your friend or your man, and you, like, you know, he's like, how's your day at work today, baby? And you're like, oh, it's a rough day and blah blah blah. Then you may get one of those compliments, you know. Then you may get one of those compliments like, well, listen, you know, you're a beautiful woman. You work really hard. I know your coworkers, they, you know, a lot of them, you know, they're probably jealous of you and stuff that you have and stuff like that. Look, don't sweat it. And when you come back home, I got something nice lined up for you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're the type of boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? If you're the type of boyfriend that run your lady a hot bath when she gets home, and have the Netflix and stuff fired up for her and stuff like that, and you know, you kind of, you know how your girl, soaking in the tub, and you might be like sitting on the, not sitting on the toilet taking a shit, but you sitting on the toilet and you kind of just talking to her or rubbing her back or something, or whatever, and you talking to her, then you might get one of those. But guess what? You can't even get a nigga to listen to you on the damn phone. So guess what? They got to come to social media and be lying. They be lying. I don't know. That's the next level. That's next level pitiful for a woman to lie about rejecting a man. But then again, they lie about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You know? You said social media diluting their attention meter. Absolutely. And I mean, listen, man. I mean, social media has showed me things about women that I knew already, but it showed me things about women that I knew already on an abnormal level, to the point where it's like, damn, women have bared their... Social media will have the average man knowing way more about women than Adam was ever briefed on, if he was briefed on anything. And you want to know why guys are dumb? Because guys will still see all of that shit and still go after horrible women. It's kind of in us. You know, this is why they call it the purple pill, y'all. Because think about it. When you take the red pill and you're not blue pilled no more, but the thing is that you came from being blue pilled before, and the only, you know, and like, think about it like this, because the red pill have nothing to do with women, but we use women as the barometer. Think about it like this. The purple pill is the red pill and the blue pill put together, okay? And most people, when they find the red pill, they really have no they really have no purpose. You know, America just tells men that they have to work. You know what I'm saying? Most people just get told, yo, you got to work, earn this. And, you know, people are working on an old model. Hey, you have to work, earn this, and then just, you know, figure out how to get a woman, kids, in a place, and then become more of a big slave, and then just wither away and die. You know, it's like you're like a piece of crypto. You're just something that just does something. You know, you're like AI. Hey, answer this question, and that's it. When I cut you on, I cut you off. When I turn you off, I turn you off. That's what you're supposed to be as a man. You're just a utility. You're just a resource generator. That's really how this shit looks. And then let's say when you wisen up a little bit, or let's say you came up a little bit privileged, then you might get told like, hey, do you know you're a human? Do you know that you count? Do you know that you can say no? Do you know that you have a choice? Do you know that there's something called a dream? Yeah. And you might be talented enough to accomplish the dream. What do you want to do? How do you want to live? So most guys really don't grow up, or they don't know that there's more to life. And then when they find the red pill, it's like they go cipher. And we're going to get to that a little bit later. I know I gave y'all the game on that. But they go cipher. They want to be plugged back in. And not necessarily plugged back in to a certain degree. They want to use the red pill to enhance their blue pill life. So this is where the purple pill comes in. Because men will see all of this shit, no matter how much evidence you give them. It's the same thing I was telling y'all about black people asking for people's credentials. That's the funniest shit ever. You know, that's the funniest shit ever. Like, it makes a damn difference. You know? The losers asking the winners to explain themselves. When they don't even know about a finish line being crossed, or can't even recognize what a finish line looks like to be crossed. You know? So they, you know, they want to use the, you know, and this is another thing why a lot of men get preyed upon, is because we have what's called a hero complex. If you look at the average young man, he watches Batman. He watched wrestling. You know what I'm saying? He has this hero complex. To tell you the truth, most men are actually monogamous. You know, they might be smitten by a bunch of different types of women, but most men are usually monogamous. You know, they just want really one. You know, but this guy, you watch Batman, you watch Superman, you know, you watch TV, you watch all of this programming. is instilling, you know what I'm saying, this heroic spirit in you. If you play video games, what does the video game does? Oh, you go on a mission, or hey, there's a problem here. Can you fix it? Yes, you can fix it. And then when you fix it, you gain this, you gain this sense of accomplishment. And this accomplishment is supposed to build your confidence, where you can say, man, I fixed so many stuff, you know. It doesn't make you better. Not, it could, it probably can. Well, where's your confidence at? You know. So a lot of women pray, and people, not just women, people, your job, things around you, they prey on that hero aspect, that, hey, present problem here, hey, can you fix this? And then you fix it. So a lot of guys will look at a woman that got all kinds of fucked up shit going on in her life. Even now, go on Instagram, or go on YouTube, or go on Facebook, or go on Twitter, or go on wherever the hell you go on, right? Reddit or whatever, and go find female prison. And you can do it with the male ones too. Go find these female prisoners and stuff that, like, go find jail bay. Just go somewhere and type in jail bay, and go find like a bunch of locked up baddies, and go look in the comment section and go see if you will find this one comment. There's a specific comment that I want you to look for, and I just want you to scroll down. It's not going to take you a long time to find it. All right? It's not going to take you a long time to find it. You're going to find a comment of a guy that will say in but so many words, I can fix her. Where's she at? I can fix her. You go look at this bitch charges. Bitch done lit the car on fire. She shot the dog. She done unsubscribed a house full of kids, including hers. She don't get no jail time. She get out tomorrow. What you doing? I can fix her. A nigga will see all of that shit and be like, damn, I can fix her though. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's like men have no confidence but has the most confidence at all. They have no confidence but have all the confidence. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. All right. You said War Master won't be found because he has it in the because PlayStation has it in a chokehold. You said you're taking advantage of the scenery on the bench or in a coffee shop, Cap. War Master says 90 degrees in Houston feels like 101. Truck says 110. War Master, what are you doing in Houston? Let me tell y'all something. Ever since I known War Master, y'all, he makes a big circle in America. Like, he makes an oval. Like, 1 minute he'll be up there in a snowstorm with like a couple of bears in Dakota, and then next minute he's in Miami or in Houston. What type of route do they be giving you? War Master has an all-purpose truck. I'm 1000% convinced this man has an all-purpose truck. War Master drives Optimus Prime. We ain't gonna drive over this. We just gonna transform, get up and walk over this hill, cause shit. What are you doing in Houston, man? Look, speaking of Keanu, I love that song. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Shout outs to Keanu Reeves. Yeah, this is your this is your type of conversation. We talking red pill. What's going on, King Pix? Yeah, she backdooring niggas, and nigga be like, well, I don't have a backdoor, so I can save her. Like, what? You said War Master do a Coming to America. Man, War Master, he getting all the side missions done at this point. You said low key, lots of these female prisoners are fine as hell. Yeah, they fine shit. They just crash out. You said I saw a TikTok of someone messaging female Yeah, that dude, that traveling dude, he was talking about how to get women on discount. He was like literally, go to the female sex offender list and then just start popping shit at all those girls and trying to date them. You know, basically date pedophile women, PDF file women. Man, you know, that's how men work. You present a fucked up task, and then he's supposed to, some random guy is supposed to go in there and fix it. You know, it's the same way how the military works. It's the same way how anything works. You just throw a bunch of men at it, and hopefully somebody will figure it out. You know, but we live in a society nowadays, y'all, where women are so sedated with either drugs or medication. They have the most laws, you know. So, you know, what's finna happen? You know, what are we doing? You dig? What's finna happen, and what are we doing? You said motherfuckers are sick. I'm saying, hey, look. You said society loves attractive people who are also toxic as fuck. Absolutely. And they got that from women, honestly. That was more of a women thing. You know? Women will take a guy that's not inherently attractive, and just the fact that he has an edge on him, he's attractive. Like some ugly looking dude with like a big ass slash on his face. It could be a guy that has a $150 on his face, and he got that $150 for a reason, because he did some fucked up shit, right? You know, he if he was breaking the law or did something and a woman found him attractive, he would become a sexual standard, because guys will see that and be like, oh damn, women are attracted to guys like that. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's different archetypes of guys that are attractive to women and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Look at Shabba Ranks, you know? Look at Seal, you know, to drive my point home and shit like that, you know? Especially if the guy has like a talent and stuff like that. It's just that a lot of guys don't get the real like Bonnie and Clyde effect and stuff like that, like the decent looking couple that's doing wrong and stuff like that. But, you know, one of my from back in the day, one of my accounts on like not OkCupid, what was it, Tagged or something like that, where I used to pull a lot of women. My handle was Handsome Shooter. You know? You know, so women have the effect too, because like if you go on the male prison sites and you see the male jail bays, there's women under there talking about some, I can save him also, you know. So you said a lot of women are doing that with super attractive prisoners. Yeah. And look at this Sadia Khan. The Sadia Khan girl was like, hey, listen, I would be if I didn't know any better, I would be committing crimes and stuff like that, you know? Because a lot of beautiful women, they get pretty privileged, so they get let off, you know? They get endless chances to you know, to fuck some shit up, you know. Shout outs to everybody here. Please double tap your screen, hit the like button. Please support the show. Please hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. Giving y'all some good game. You know, we in it. We in it. So, you know, bread or buns, you know, that's the new thing. Uh One master said picking up a load. I do irregular routes. Every day is different. Snow on Monday, heat on Thursday. Yeah, make sure you be careful because you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get sick, you know. King Pix, uh-oh, it got deleted. King Pix says, or if you wear gray sweats as a man with your BBC protruding to the left, it gets women staring. Yeah. But women, I mean, a lot of guys don't understand what women are attracted to, you know? And like I said, times have changed. You know, women like the guys with the veins in their hands and the veins in their arms. Women like guys that can dance. Women like guys that are, you know, nonchalant. You know, I'm going to tell you why a lot of those women are mad that a lot of guys aren't talking to them. Because sometimes a guy minding his own business, and depending on how his demeanor is, whether it's literally his demeanor or a poker face that he's putting on, um you know what I'm saying, they're attracted to him. And the thing is, it's like, oh, look at that attractive guy over there sitting by himself. I wonder if I position myself in front of him, would he come and talk to me? And it's like, no, he's in his own world, tending to his own life. And you know, and it stands out too because women see a lot of guys that would want to talk to him but don't, you know. And sometimes in their head is like, he not even attractive, I'm glad he didn't talk to me, you know. And that's an ego sport in and of itself. You know, that's an ego sport in and of itself. A lot of the stuff that women do are ego sports. I saw this one girl who posted a picture on the internet, and she had on some nice clothes, but like there's pictures of her in her room. Like, for example, a lot of fellas, right? I'll do it. I'll give y'all some game, right? If I look at War Master's phone, his background or wallpaper or home screen on his phone might be an Xbox or his truck or something, right? Or if I look at Party's phone, right? Like, or something like a text message or something go off on Party's phone, it's probably like a background of you know, his you know, drum machine or synthesizer that he got. And then like his back screen is like probably a picture of his kids, or him and his kids, or a car, or you know, like with fellas, it's like us, it's like either a car, or we're washing a car, or it's our favorite anime or something like that, and things of that sort, right? If you look at a woman's phone, her home page is her. Her screensaver, it's her. I literally seen this girl. Pictures of her is on her wall. Her home page is her. Her screensaver, her. Some women, their first tattoo is their name on them. It's like, damn. And this is beyond vanity, y'all. This is not a to talk about vanity is underplaying the game that I'm giving you. This is not about vanity. I'm telling you, women worship themselves. They worship themselves. Eve in the Garden of Eden spent hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours looking at her reflection in a pond. You want to know what's the irony to all of this? Y'all want to know what's the irony to all of this? You know what's funny, Party? We say mirror, mirror on the wall, but It's a Mandela effect behind that. I forgot what she says, but it's the Mandela effect. She doesn't even say mirror, mirror on the wall. I forgot what she said, word for word, but that one got me too. It's the Mandela effect. But you know, she meant the same thing, right? But let me give you the irony. Let me put y'all onto the game. Let me give y'all the irony behind this shit. Do you know, no matter how much times you see yourself in a mirror, in a car reflection, because you don't just take a mirror to see yourself. You can look at a glass window on the car and see a reflection of yourself. You can look at something painted, a shiny paint job, and see a reflection of yourself. Do you know? Do you know you've never laid eyes on yourself? Like your eyes have never seen yourself, like you, like how you are. Your eyes have never seen. Your body registers the avatar that you are, right? But you've never seen yourself. And guess what? Your mind is so biased that you already have like preconceived notions, you already have preconceived thoughts, you already have like all of these different depictions and things about yourself that you would never truly see yourself. And people around you see you completely different. You don't look how you look to yourself, to other people. And this is a woman's journey that that a lot of times they trivialize and they complicate. You know, they trivialize it and they complicate it badly. Like they would never ever know themselves. They would never see it is past the point where they will be content with themselves. Is really, women have to learn how to re-love themselves by looking at themselves more. It's like they spent more than 10,000 hours looking at themselves. Like vanity is a motherfucker. It's a bitch to women. And this is what the obsession did with average women. Because there's no problem with average women, you know? And what men deem as average women in the male gaze, you know? Average women are forever confused because they don't know which one is them. They don't truly know themselves. They're like, oh well, one day I look like this, and one day I look like that, and one day I'm this, and one day I'm that, and one day these type of guys are talking to me, and then the next day these guys don't want to talk to me, and then the next day an athlete's talking to me, and then the next day when I wear this wig, like women have developed so many different alter egos. It's crazy. This is why a lot of women like being strippers also and hoes. Because when she's on the track, she's not Jada anymore. When she's on the track, she's Flame. Like they be, they be having this bullshit in their head. It's like, yeah, he didn't meet Jada, he met Flame. And they be having the nerve to be talking about niggas that watch anime and shit like that. Oh, he didn't talk to Stephanie. He talked to Freeze. Oh shit. Oh man. It's like, Vanessa, if you don't take your stupid ass in the house. Oh, he wasn't talking to Vanessa, he was talking to Blaze. Yo. Baby, bruh. I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Right, right. Bitch, watch out. Watch out. Yo. He's not talking to Jessica, he's talking to Safari Tiger. Like, what are you talking about, man? That shit is funny. They be having these little, you know. They be having these dual personalities and shit. It's like, man, look. Watch out, man. Cynical. Y'all know I know it. Y'all know I know what I'm talking about, man. They you know, they have their alter ego and stuff like that, you know. They have the nerve to get mad at niggas watching anime and shit like that, you know. But acting like they Super Saiyans and shit, walking around here when they get a new wig, and when they get a, you know, when their confidence is boost, you know. So that's what was irritating a lot of average women. Average women are the ones that's winning in the game. Even before they got rid of pretty privilege like that. Well, not got rid of it, but they've definitely did a number on it. You know, pretty privilege now is like a case by case thing, and it's a niche thing now. You know. But go look at all the pretty women nowadays and go see if they're not doing some debaucherous shit. They gotta update, you know. Average women now made pretty women have to up the ante. Whatever that means. You know? And pretty girls gotta up the ante now. You know. Average women wanted what they wanted, and they got it. All the hand-me-downs and stuff is accessible. You know, back in the day, if you wanted to get a BBL, oh, you had to come up off that bread. Now some nigga in the basement would do it for you. You know, some nigga in the basement with some fix-a-flat, he'll do it for you. Like, oh, you want BBL? I'll do that for you. Back in the day, if you wanted some high-end makeup, you had to find a baller that's gonna afford that. It would be easier to go find you some trick that's gonna give it to you instead of you going to go work for that. Now you got Fenty. The Fenty is affordable. Sephora made stuff affordable. All of the hand-me-downs, you know. So go look at Glorilla when she first came out. Young Thug wasn't wrong. You know, and I see a lot of people that are diehard Glorilla fans now that was saying that then. I'm a DJ. I got an elephant's brain. I remember shit. I remember when Glorilla first came out, because I even posted it. This was like during the pandemic. I remember all of this shit. When FNF came out, yeah, Glorilla looked like a goblin. It's like a little cute goblin. And she had the little diamonds on her teeth and stuff like that. You know, she just a young little ratchet chick from Memphis. Actually, I knew about Glorilla before FNF. I was playing freestyles back in the day that she did, and I was like, yeah, I think she next up. Right? Because it was like her. I don't think K Carbon was out yet. But it was like her and I think Gloss Up or some shit. I don't know. It was another chick. But it was like her and a couple of her other little friends and stuff like that. She had that one little friend that got pregnant, that was pregnant in that FNF video that was with her and stuff like that, you know? And the only reason why I like Glorilla was because she had a thick Memphis accent and she rapped with it and she sounded like I did a thing back in the day. Because, like, I was saying technically Megan Thee Stallion, even though she from Houston, she should do more records with 3 6 Mafia because Megan Thee Stallion had that deep voice and she sound like a part of 3-6 Mafia. She sound like a second coming of not LeChat, but like Gangsta Boo and like LeChat put together. So I was like, yeah, Gangsta, you know, Glorilla need to, Megan need to do more tracks with Juicy J, because they had a song called Simon Says that never really popped off like it should have. And then when Glorilla came out, she had that deep voice, and I'm like, yeah, she gonna do it, cause it makes sense, because she's actually from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Megan Thee Stallion would be like a transplant. You know what I'm saying? People, you know, she'll absolutely get called out for that on both sides. Like Houston gonna be like, oh well, you got that deep voice and you do sound like a 3-6 Mafia member, but you from Houston, you know? And Houston got love for 3-6 Mafia, but Megan would have got slack for that, right? So I said, okay, Glorilla makes sense, even though I haven't heard of anything with her and 3-6 Mafia, but y'all get what I'm saying, with the deep voice. So even the women, again, trying to be like men with the deep voice and all that other shit and stuff like that, you know, they looking for their female Pop Smoke, you know. You said that's how you know the mental illness is at an all-time high. Motherfuckers be looking like a goblin, go under the knife and get a #1, and the crowd claps like a seal and say she pretty. Yeah. Well, I mean, there is no appraisal system. You know, there is no appraisal system. They got rid of it. That's what the feminists, and that's what that's what the feminists, and that's what average women wanted, to get rid of the appraisal system, because their jealousy for beautiful women, you know what I'm saying, was off the Richter. And then the thing is that, you know, they wanted what the beautiful women had. You know, they wanted what the beautiful women had, or what they perceived that the beautiful women had. And they wanted to be able to tell men the same thing that beautiful woman did. And then it really didn't, you understand what I'm saying? It really didn't really fit the mold, because as a woman, if you have your own social media, which is like an address, you know, and it's like nothing is stopping you from being a star. Yeah, you go get on social media and you take advantage of that. You know, men don't get that same grace. Most men don't take advantage of that and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So every woman that has a social media, she has to be a celebrity. You know, she has to be a celebrity. No picture. She walking around with her nose in the air. Back in the day, we used to call it going Hollywood. You know, oh, you done went Hollywood. Hollywood is in your pocket now. She's saying no pictures. She thinking somebody want to take a picture of her because she done took millions of them herself. And see, look, the pictures, and I'm telling you how deep this rabbit hole goes, because the pictures that y'all see on social media, that's just like one of thousands. That's just one of thousands. You know? That's one of thousands. You said motherfuckers forget that goblin's still gonna produce a goblin. That's true, genetic wise. Yeah. But all of that stuff, you know, is cheap. All right, y'all give me a second. I might have to go. It's raining. It's starting to rain out here, and I'm on this roof. And you know, this is part 2. The Wi-Fi is down. If you guys could please hit the like button and support the show. We've been live for a little bit over, I think, going on 3 hours now. Jesus Christ. Or 2 hours. You know, if you guys could please hit the like, double tap the screen, and please support the show. You guys can hit the Cash App. Please hit the PayPal. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We'll be right back. I got like a lot of stuff lined up for you guys. There's so much stuff that we gotta, you know. So best believe a super show is on the way. Once I can get my equipment, you know, I gotta get another monitor or a new laptop, because that my screen is fried. Whew, I'm not having the best of luck, y'all. You know, but I appreciate everybody. You said like 2.5 hours. Yeah, yeah. I've been working, y'all. I've been working. You know, but no. But yeah. Modern man. You know, modern man is it's on the way. You know, it's sad that grown men have to take their cue from young men, because how a young dude on TikTok come up with how a young dude on TikTok, well, I mean, I get it. I'm asking y'all questions that I know the answer to, but how a young buck on TikTok come up with buns or bread or buns, but you sit up here and y'all see in the manosphere, you got all of these guys pontificating and politicking all fucking day, claim that they don't like the game and don't need game and all this other stuff. And it takes a kid to come up with bread or buns, and you got these grown ass men in these spaces telling young dudes to trick. And the funny part is that you don't even know if these dudes could even get pussy if they tricked. You know hoes are fucking for money, but you don't know, they don't say yes to everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Not everybody there's still hoes out saying no. You know, there's still hoes out saying no to some of these niggas. And then also too, right? Even then, that's not no feat. But guess what? You got a lot of guys that are impressed by that. Like, I want y'all to go listen to Jay Rello's last stream, and I want y'all to go see how desperate and how overhyped that he's talking about prostitutes and women and stuff like that, about oh, this girl done gave me some head and it was good and blah 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 and this, that, and the third. And it's like, well, why don't she got a man if she's that good at it? You know? And you hear him saying that, oh, I went to a spot where I knew they were selling, they were selling fish, and when I went to the spot where they were selling fish, all the girls in there looked busted, but like I took a L yesterday, so I was really desperate today. It's like, bro, that shit is sad, bro. That shit is sad. And it's a bad thing, but it's a bad thing, fellas, and it's even more sad because as a man, falling prey to any emotion to a certain degree makes you weak, but overtly falling prey to something like that, coupled up with trick sex, it makes you even way more weak. Hold on, guys. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. My bad, y'all. I'm back. All right. If you guys could please hit the like button, please support the show. You said 2.5 hours. You said, so they be overseas living like third world demons? Bro, they be going crazy over mid women. And I've been saying this for years, bro. That's why I'm waiting. Again, I'm like I said, my invitation is open. I'm waiting for one of them passport niggas to pop off, cause them niggas be acting like they any better and shit like that. And to a certain degree, they promote sex tourism. That passport shit need to get cleaned up anyway. White boys taking that shit anyway. Told y'all, by the time black people get this certain shit, it's done. You said and be begging for money to do, but that's the thing, their audience want to see them crash out. Their audience want to see them crash out. You know, if you're a righteous content creator, you're gonna have a hard fucking time. If you tell the truth, you're gonna have a hard fucking time. I would think that it would. I mean, I would think that it would be shock value. Usually, people are shocked when they hear the truth, but that's not the case. You know, if you're real, you're gonna have a hard fucking time. And people want you to be something until they find out that you're actually that something, and then they get mad. You know, niggas be like, "Oh man, I like my rappers real. He need to be like King Von." And then when you find out this nigga a demon and he just like King Von and he's living his raps, oh, he need to go to jail. And black people are some of the most backwards people on the fucking planet. You know? So it makes no sense listening to niggas, man. And sadly enough, the reason they live vicariously through J Rello because there's hundreds upon hundreds of dudes in the chat room that are and want to be just like him. They're using him as a measuring stick, saying, okay, so if I was to go out to Africa and I wanted to go find a bunch of pros, realistically, what would it look like? And boom, you get to see somebody that's out there doing it like that, and that's even, it's sad, you know, and that's not what traveling and shit is about and stuff. So, but it is what it is. I talk about it in my books. Y'all get the chance, go pick up those books. Really good stuff and really deep game in those books. I put a lot of effort into those books. I got one that I recorded, and hopefully, if I get this new equipment, I'm gonna do a audio book for the second one, because the second one is pretty good. The second one is definitely pretty good. Talking about dating after COVID, and talking about how what we're going through right now, all of the stuff that y'all are seeing right now. I called it in the book down to detail, because we need to recalibrate ourselves. I was listening to this other podcast, and it's like I see a bunch of brothers running around using our talking points, and then he's like, yeah, brothers, we need to be together for the sisters, and we need to stand on business and restore the FBA black woman and all this other shit. I'm like, bro, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, I'm seeing the divestment sisters, they popping back up again. They usually pop up around this time, towards mid to end of summer and stuff like that. A sister date one white man for the year, and all of a sudden she's just like the biggest diversified bed wench on the planet and shit. I don't need you niggas no more. Brad got this, and then come October, she's broken up and she's going outside for Halloween to be a hoe, or she's gonna be Blaze or Sapphire or whatever goofy name she done came up with this Halloween. She's gonna be herself this Halloween, and she not getting invited to no fucking family outings or nothing like that. You starting to see a lot of these girls pop up on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, talking about how she let him call her racial slurs and all this other shit, and oh, I thought it, I made it okay for him to say nigga and all, and I thought this, and I thought, like, man, You get burnt out from this shit. It's like, bro, debrief yourself, black man and black woman. You know, if you're gonna be a part of the community, be a part of the community, but definitely just don't be a detriment. You know, if you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna enhance the community, just do it. You don't gotta say or do much. But one thing I'm not gonna have, and both black men and black women shouldn't be doing, two things actually, is making you feel guilty if you date outside your race, because people date people, and at the end of the day, it's two personalities dating another personality. It's two personalities coming together. And another thing too is stop this fake race loyalty thing. And another thing too is stop this fake slavery shaming thing. You know, I cannot stand that shit. I can't stand this fake, oh, we was slaves and remember when we was, get the fuck out of here. Nigga, it is 2025. I'm not telling you to forget your history, but just cut that shit out, please. Cut it out. Because 9 times out of 10, they don't give a fuck about no damn slaves. They don't know their ancestors' names. They don't even know anything about slavery. They'll be getting their education when they with you. They don't even watch. They watch Roots on BET one time, and all of a sudden they're Dr. Cornel West. No, like, I don't, like, stop with that shit. I'm not trying to hear about no fake pseudo when we was kings. I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. You know, I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. Like, just miss me with that bullshit, please. You know, I don't want to hear it. I'm not trying to, and I don't want to hear it. You know, because that shit is like, and fellas, you need to get rid of any woman or immediately cut them off when they start trying to gaslight you with slavery. Because the irony of it is that they use that shit to dupe you into slavery and telling you that if she does anything for you or serves you and her family, that you're putting her through slavery, when it's really the other way around. You know, so, you know, you sitting up there fighting for the black community or your black family, and she's sitting up there gaslighting you with slavery, and it's like, weren't you just talking about dating white men on the internet? You know? Like, it's, you know, before I get up out of here, please, y'all hit the like button and support the show. Let me say this, right? Modern man, especially if you're black, there's two people, if you pay attention, that women will throw you under the bus for. Person number one, a white man. That white man don't have to be 6 foot. That white man don't have to have designer clothes. That white man don't have to do a fucking thing but exist. You get thrown under the bus for him. Standards go way out the... What standards, nigga? What standards, bitch? Standard go way out the window. She don't give a damn. I'm not gonna say he get the real her, but she drop all the games, you know, for him. Alright? Person number two, who you gonna get thrown under the bus for? A lesbian. You niggas be in these spaces thinking y'all black pilled when y'all not. You're stupid pilled. You gotta be 6 foot. You gotta have 6 figures. You gotta have 6-pack abs. You gotta have more than 6 inches. You gotta have 6 figures in your bank account. You gotta have a $600,000 house. You gotta have all of these things. The 6 sixes, right? What about the stud? She up there dating Twister. She up there dating goddamn Kevin Gates, the fat one. And that woman don't have to have that. That woman don't even have to have a fraction of that. And here you are destroying yourself. Actually, none of the niggas that she gave coochie to had that. You know? And even if she did, she not with him no more. Or her. Or whatever she was with. So, a lot of you niggas are getting thrown under the jail for fairy tale niggas. And I'm not even gonna lie, that woman gonna X you off the list anyway because you believe it. You believe it. And they'll sit there and watch you destroy yourself trying to obtain it. Knowing damn well they ain't gonna be with you. Amazing. So I want you to pay attention to that. You know? Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking laughed. I didn't even get to see it. I will let you know on the next show, LT man, because I fucking Drewski is hilarious. I don't know why. Him and Desi, they're like neck and neck with me. Drewski is hilarious. But no, there's this other comedian. I keep forgetting his name. And he's fat. And he like dresses up like he did the white face too. But like he be like wearing like the army hats, like the army stuff. And he like be doing like he be like stone cold stunning people and shit. I forgot his name. Oh, alright. Yeah, it's this comedian named Mac a Fool. I used to play his skits on the show all the time. He dressed up as like Mike Tyson. And like he's just a funny dude. His name is Mac a Fool. But he does like white face. Like his face looked like powdered. You know what I'm saying? It's not like how Dave Chappelle does his face. And it's not like how like all the other people do their face. But like, it's funny because we're living in a day and age. And like, shout outs to War Master because we talk about this shit all the time. Y'all are gonna start to see white people complain about racism. Like this generation of white people complaining about racism is I'm not gonna lie, it's not, it's funny as hell, but it's like a irony funny. You know, it's like an irony funny because it's like you know, because I was talking about it a little bit earlier. White people, you know their numbers are dramatically dropping. Like white people gonna have to get like real militant, y'all. I'm gonna when this Wi-Fi starts working, I'm gonna do a whole show about this because I talked about it earlier. White people are getting real militant, but it's not just white people. It's a couple of other races too, but white people in particular, because when their numbers drop, they have to do different things. Like I remember when white people used to treat Italian people crazy. And then they had to accept Italian people because, you know, their numbers kind of, you know, was looking funny. The white woman, they're weird. Like I was saying earlier when I was telling you guys about feminism, the white women are weird because they're still taking to Planned Parenthood. You know what I'm saying? So the white woman, they're like, hey, look, I'm gonna get rid of this kid, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that. So the white women, they're still taking advantage of Planned Parenthood and stuff like that. Then the white men, they're hooking up with Asian women, but they're not necessarily staying with the Asian women. They're having kids, but they're not necessarily staying with the Asian women. And those mixed babies and stuff like that. Like if you go to the West Coast, you'll see nothing but white dudes dating Asian girls, and it just happens everywhere. Asian girls, you want to listen. If it makes you feel better with the conversation that I was saying before, I'm gonna just tell you the truth, and everybody will tell you, just so you won't feel fucked up or bad, black man. If it makes you feel better, Asian women will look their Asian man in the eye and sell them out for the white man. I'm just gonna tell you that. They will look their man in the eye too and be overtly, they turn into fucking tapioca pudding when it comes to that white man. You understand what I'm saying? If you go to South America, those Cuban girls, they'll look you dead in the eye and be buddy buddy with you. But when Mr. Cartwright comes around, they'll turn into tapioca pudding for him too. They'll look their man in the eye to a certain degree. And then when Mr. Cartwright come around, they'll turn tapioca pudding. So just about a lot of other races, they will sell their races out for the white man. You know what I'm saying? But that's not always a good thing. Pay attention. That's not always a good thing, y'all. Okay? But those white men, they're having what's called, when they have like the white and the Asian babies, the term that they use for those kids are called hoppas. 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 You know what I'm saying? White man's the original deadbeat dad. Hate to say it like that. It's not to go in on them, but it's to kind of highlight where some of these problems are coming from. But their numbers are dropping. And y'all heard that, a couple of months ago, if not last month, that they're talking about having all white cities and all white towns. That's what that's for. So they got to find different methods to repopulate. And it's funny because they're talking about this now, but guess who they wait to talk about it? Guess who they waited for to be in office to start talking about it? Donald Trump. We're going to talk about it. I got a lot of stuff. I got some stuff to show y'all on the next show, because I'm going to sound crazy saying this, and I'm going to kind of sound a little racist saying this, but at the expense of telling y'all the truth, I'll do that, you know. LT Man says, you said it's time to bring the Jerry curl back. Oh, hell no. But low key it is coming back, you know, with the people that rock waves, you know. You said I think I should dress up like Drewski and then post it and do it. Are you gonna dye your hair? You gotta, I don't know what color his hair is. Is that like blonde or like gold blonde? You gotta dye your hair and then Jerry curl it so it'll curl. But you don't look nothing. Drewski he's a weird looking dude. You know, like Drewski looks like a little pig, like a piglet. Drewski's a weird looking dude, but you know, I mean, he's a comedian, but a lot of his skits go too far. He got a couple of skits that go too far, you know. Yeah, don't do it, LT man. Cause you got to really go through with it, and that shit is gonna be funny as hell. He's a weird looking dude, you know. Shout outs to War Master dropping the huge $20 on the Cash App. Is all. Oh shit! I thought I could play the damn Dave Chappelle skit with the goddamn white face. Shout outs to War Master, bro. Thank you so much for supporting the show as always. I got you. War Master says, hold on. Cuda needs his Xbox like Thor needs his hammer. Look, I'm looking at the sky right now. Hold on, I think y'all can't see it. Hold on. I'm looking at the sky right now, and it is like you see the lightning in the background. It is on the way. It is on the way. So I'm just waiting, because like, you know what, it's like weird out here. It's always weird. Like 1 minute it's like dry, the next minute it's like shoosh. It's like a big boosh of rain and shit that come out of nowhere. I don't know, LT man. There's not too many people. You're not gonna want to cut the beard, man. No, I'm not. I'm not finna, I'm not finna arch no types of backs, LT, man. Pause. Hold on, guys. Hold up. I don't know. I mean, it's just weird. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Drewski? I'm gonna take a look at the skit, and then I'll probably do a pre-record for you guys. If it rains, I'll definitely try to do a pre-record. What do you guys think? And shout outs to everybody that commented on the Cardi B pre-record. I got you guys too on the responses. What do you guys think about blackface and whiteface? I mean, like I said, it's ironic and it's funny that you're gonna have a lot of, you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna have a lot of you know, a lot of white people complaining about the white face. You know, they never experienced no type of jab back or racism. You know, speaking of Mr. Cartwright, these are his kids. You know, what was I looking at the other day? What was I looking at? I was looking at something, and they were talking about, it was some racist shit, but they were talking about the guy that was in it would be 60 years old right now. So it was like yesterday. I forgot what I was looking at. Not about on fire. Not on fire, bro. I'm not gonna be on fire. No, I was looking at something, LT, man, and it was talking about some it was something to do with some type of racism. I forgot. But anyway, yeah, this generation, they're not used to you know, racism or people, you know, making racial jokes back. You know, this is why stand-up comedy is kind of on the way out, and this is why, like, if the Dave Chappelle show came out today, it would get canceled. You know, if the Dave Chappelle show came out today, it would get canceled. You know, I don't, like, we live in the most out there yet sensitive time ever. Like, I wanted to bring this up earlier in conversation when we were talking about, like, what women find attractive with guys. So, like, remember, you know, black men, when you walked around, they're like, hey, you need to pull your pants up, and hey, you know, we're not trying to, you know, we're not trying to see y'all drawers, and you know, and blah blah blah, right? And all kinds of shit, right? Remember, what's going on, Third Ward? Good to see you, bro. Remember, people would get they would say, hey, you know, that's called indecent exposure. When the last time you heard the word indecent exposure? You really don't hear that word like that, right? When's the last, put a 1 in the chat, when the last time you've actually heard the word indecent exposure? That's like a, that word is like a artifact. That word is like a relic at that point. When is the last time have you actually heard the word indecent exposure? That word, they got rid of that word. You want to know why they got rid of that word? Because they couldn't use it against men. Because women nowadays, they will gladly show you their titties. If they already aren't showing them, they will gladly show you their ass. They'll turn around. Hey, look, you want to see the ass too? Women nowadays will gladly show you their moose knuckle and all kinds of other stuff. And you never hear the word indecent exposure. Y'all please hit the like button and support the show. I got you. You never hear the word indecent exposure. Women will show all kinds of... Look at right now, you got Teacher Bay. There's a woman going viral right now wearing spandex and all kinds of shit in her classroom and twerking on the internet and all kinds of shit. Teacher Bay, right? And dudes are just eating it up. She's a viral sensation. That could never be a man. Indecent exposure. Imagine some nigga walking around flashing himself to your kids. But some woman can do it, and all of a sudden, it's, she's just, come on. Come on, Cuda, you don't like it, you know. And you know, it's messed up to men, too, because, you know, we like to see that stuff. But guess what? You got kids to raise. You got your responsibilities and stuff like that. Indecent exposure. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, LT, man. Moose knuckle. Caribou paw. Bison fist. Camel toe. You know, moose knuckle. He'd be labeled a sex offender. Thank you, Cynical. Thank you. When let me ask y'all a question. When does the double standard become illegal? Like when does it bad? Is it only bad when a man does it, or is it, you know? You said, what the fuck? Where did all these names come from? It comes from names. These are old names. These are names to describe a pussy print. That's what it's called, a pussy print. Pussy print. Moose knuckle, camel toe. It's when a woman wants to show you her coochie print. She wants to show you where her coochie print looks like. Okay, see LT man. Look, LT man, you showing your age. Love muffin. Love muffin. Yo, a love muffin? Yo, that just made my month, man. Love muffin. Oh my God. Oh, what? Holy shit. Oh. Yeah, okay. See, y'all, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay. Flour candy, I've never heard that one, but love muffin takes the cake, man. You said, I haven't heard anyone use that term as a term of endearment, like a pet name. Look. Oh. Man. Fudge. No, times change, you know. Times change so much. I mean, whatever happened to, like, you know, like I said, it's a lot different now. Like, you know, with the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, remember back in the day when texting first was really popping off, right? Remember, fellas, do you remember? And men, I'm asking you, do you remember? Not the Michael Jackson song, but do you remember when you literally had to work to receive nudes? You literally had to work to you know, receive half-ass 240p laundry nudes. You literally had to work to receive a titty pic, or a fucking a booty picture, or just something sexy. Not even, she don't even have to be naked or anything, but you had to work for it. Man, she do that shit for the internet for free. She do that shit for the internet for free. It's to the point that if she send you some shit like that, best believe 4 to 5 other guys got that same picture in their phone. They do this shit for free. You know? That's the thing, man. And I get why a lot of guys like feel powerless, because women will do something for a system and a sleight of hand, like a guy that's there that's not there. And you probably feel powerless as one man getting her to do something. Don't feel bad though, man, because God can say the same thing. You know, what did Mugabe say? God gives them eyebrows, they shave it off and draw their own. God gives them their natural lip color, they put lipstick over it. God gives them hair, they shave it off and put somebody else's hair on top of their head. God, hey, at least when you get to heaven and you talk to the man upstairs, you can be like, hey, look, man. Life would have been smooth sailing until you threw that monkey wrench in there that you call women. What is it? Women will adhere to a system or a sleight of hand. You know, it's like getting a better worker for like a company like, like Uber or Lyft, you know, where it's like technically the app is your boss, but it's not. It's like, hey, it's like they lie to you. They're like, hey, you don't have a boss, but you do. You know, and then it's not a good thing too, because like to say, hey, I work for Uber, right, or Lyft, right, and you have a boss, but it's not like truck driving. You know, like how the truck drivers, they'd be like, hey, I know my dispatcher's name, or a dispatcher that I can contact. I know their name, right? Hey, yes, my boss is not driving with me or doing certain things, but back at the office, the main office, I know who he is, where his office is, where this is, and where that is. Even though he's not out here on the road with me, and it's a little bit flexible, I still have a boss, right? Uber and Lyft, right? They can be, I'm gonna do a whole show about this, because they can be so vague with you. And there's no one particular person you can yell at to get something done. You got to go through hell just to get something done, right? So it's the sleight of hand. It's like you got a boss, but you don't. So it makes you feel like you're independent, right? Go look at OnlyFans. How do you think OnlyFans is set up? OnlyFans, hey, you need to do this. Hey, this is the guidelines. Hey, you need to do this. Hey, the algorithm damn near is your boss, right? You know? But nobody's there long enough to make it feel like I work for myself. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a contractor. You know, you're an independent contractor. You don't work for yourself. Hell no. You do not work for yourself. You know, you said in my day there was never asking for a picture. We were lucky to even get a phone. $3 three times. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. But look at it now. Now, you know, these girls are butt naked on the internet. There's like nothing to the imagination. That's why I tell these young cats, I'm like, bro, just go get her Instagram. Like, get her Instagram. you know. And it's funny because the girls will give you their Instagram because it's like, yeah, you met them in person, but sometimes they want to reiterate a side of them that you don't know. And the thing is that, you know, you think you're going to have this extravagant conversation with this woman. It's like, bro, everything you need to know is on her Instagram. If you want to get with a girl or a woman or whatever, y'all younger cats or older cats that's here, get their Instagram. You want to know why? Because you'll see everything on their Instagram. Does she have a kid? Does she have a kid? What's her kid's name? What does her kid look like? What does the baby daddy look like? Like, all of that stuff is on her Instagram. What's her favorite place to eat? Her outfit. What, you know, all of that stuff. You know, all of that stuff is on her Instagram. You know? Women put all the stuff on their Instagram. What's their favorite song? Look at this lightning, y'all. What's their favorite song? Did she take a $2,000 picture with Chris Brown? All of that shit is on their Instagram. For sure. You know? So they put all of their stuff on social media. And like I said, they and the average person, you don't have to be content creators, but guess what? You're a content creator. You know what I'm saying? Whether you think you are or not, the average person is a content creator. And then the crazy thing about being an average person, like, for example, remember I told you guys, if you guys are on Instagram or you guys are on some type of dating website, if you have a business, let's say you're a plumber, but let's say like you have your own practice where you can go to people's house, diagnose what's wrong, and then go to Home Depot or somewhere and go get the tools and go and fix it, and then go into business for yourself and stuff like that, and you become a plumber. Well, guess what? You need to put that on your on your Instagram, or you need to put that on your OkCupid, or you need to put that on your Tinder, or you need to put that on your, you know what I'm saying? Because it's free advertisement. It's really free advertisement. You know, their algorithm is going to try to shop you around to like the other girls, or if you click something, it's going to try to shop you around, you know, to them or whatever. But in reality, it's advertising. You know, women don't know how to shit. If you can't clean her pipes, wink wink nudge nudge, you can clean her pipes, wink wink nudge nudge. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great tip if you guys ever launch a business and stuff like that, you know. So hey, look, before we end this out, because the rain is coming down, before we end this out, it for you too, fellas, bread or buns? Bread or buns? If you put your business on your Instagram, or your tagged, or your Scout, or whatever D-League, E-League website you're probably using, you can turn women that would tell you no for one thing into a customer, you know, for another thing, you know. But anyway, thank you guys for hitting the like button. Like I said, I don't know when the Wi-Fi is gonna be back. I'm gonna give them a call, or I'm gonna figure out something else that I can do in the meantime, in between time. But I'm gonna go look at this Drewski skit, and I got a couple of pre-records coming on the way for you guys. I gotta go edit, and y'all stay tuned. Thank you so much. It's Player Talk Radio. I got way more stuff coming for you guys. Actually, I got a bread and buns skit coming for you guys, which is gonna give you guys a little bit more information, because it's a young cat on TikTok, and he's like, oh, and he got this like philosophy, you know. He kind of don't live by it because he's like young. He's still building on it, but he's like, in life, you know, when something is taken, something needs to be given. Basically, as above, so below, greater to equal value. and then he's like bread or buns and stuff like that, you know. So hey, it might work, you know. If you have kids, tell them to watch out for the bread or buns. All right, y'all. Oh yeah, it's about to get bad. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Definitely check out the you know, the live streams. You know, if there's, I'm not gonna say if there's nothing to watch. Even if there is something to watch on YouTube, check out the old live streams and stuff like that. And you know, definitely support those on air, off air. Um, I got a lot of stuff coming up. Oh, LT man, I made another commercial, but I gotta run it by you. So remind me to you know, show you what I got so far, and if you want me to add something else onto it. All right. So much stuff I gotta do, and I'm trying not to let this whole situation slow me down. But hey, it's Player Talk Radio. Thank you, everybody. I will see you in a couple of hours. It's Cuda. Peace. Ooh. Lord have mercy.